Live on a Sunday afternoon, it's Utah Grizzlies hockey, as it's the rubber match of a three-game series between the Grizzlies and the Allen Americans. Hi, everybody. I'm Tyson Whiting here with Guy Chiarenza as we're grooving on a Sunday afternoon as the Grizzlies look to win 2 out of 3 games against the Allen Americans. On Thursday night, Allen won 7-4, but the Grizzlies responded with an outstanding defensive effort on Friday night as it went to the shootout, and Cameron Wright in the third round of the shootout got the game winner, as Cameron Wright has 20 goals this season, 8 game winners. That did not count as a game winner in the official league standings, but Cameron Wright does lead the league in game-winning goals. And Trent Miner was outstanding in net, stopping 40 of 41, and Miner will get the start this afternoon. I'm not yet sure who's the starting goaltender for Allen, but hopefully you'll either be Luke Parasini or Chase Perry. Grizzlies have been pretty good on the road. In fact, they've been a better road team than they have at home this year. The Grizzlies are 16, 14, and 3 on the road. At home, they are 13 and 13. As I mentioned, Trent Miner will get the start in net, but the Grizzlies will be without forward Cam Strong, as he is one of 5 skaters who are scratches for the Grizzlies tonight. We'll go over the lineup later on in the pregame show, and it's the 12th and final meeting between the Grizzlies and the Allen Americans. Utah is 4-7 against Allen, but the Grizzlies have had success in Allen's building there, 3-2 over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. A couple standouts for the Grizzlies. Cameron Wright has 15 points in his last 11 games, 8 goals and 7 assists. Tyson Pfizer has a goal in 4 straight games, and he scored in the second period on Friday night. He's got 3 goals in 2 games this series, and Pfizer is the Grizzlies' leading scorer against Allen this year, as he has 8 goals in 11 games against the Americans. So watch out for Tyson Pfizer, and also watch out for Dakota Raby, who's got a point in 12 of his last 14 games. When we come back to the Utah Grizzlies pregame report, we will go over all the details of this afternoon's game with Guy Chiarenza, as we're in business on a Sunday afternoon, and you're listening to the Grizzlies pregame report presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account.
Welcome back to Utah Grizzlies hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting here with Guy Chiarenza. It's the rubber match of the 3-game set, and it's the 12th and final meeting between the Grizzlies and the Americans during the regular season. It's a potential playoff series, as Allen right now is in 5th place in the Mountain Division with 60 points. The Grizzlies are tied with Wichita for 3rd with 61 points, as Wichita got a 2-1 victory over, it was actually a 3-1 victory over Kansas City last night. But Guy, on Friday night, it was the Trent Miner show, stopping 40 of 41. Cameron Wright got the game winner in the shootout. Tyson Pfizer's been hot as of late, and the Grizzlies came away with 2 big standings points, and they certainly needed it, considering how close the standings are right now.
Big win for the Grizzlies, Tyson. I mean, I was just amazed at how well the Grizzlies played all throughout the lineup in Friday night's win. The defense was solid, and I think the key part, Trent Miner was phenomenal, but really the key part of that win was they were able to shut down Allen's fantastic 4.
For only the second time this season, they did not get any points, did the Allen Americans, from their top 4 scorers, Colton Hargrove, Liam Finley, Jack Combs, and Hank Crone. Hank Crone leads the league with 84 points this season, and the other 3 are spectacular as well. And so the Grizzlies are going to need another great defensive effort if they want to come away with 2 standings points.
Yeah, Tyson, they're going to need that tonight, and I really think that the starting point for that was Friday night's win. They did an excellent job. I have to imagine that Allen's going to make some adjustments, but if the Grizzlies are able to make adjustments as well on the fly, really adapt to whatever Allen throws at them, I expect another great performance tonight.
Jacob Semick got an assist on Friday, and it's his first professional point. He's really settled in. Pretty good 6-man unit the Grizzlies have defensively with James Shearer, Connor McDonald, Kyle Pouncey, Bryson Martin, Aaron Tho, and Jacob Semick. That's the 6 defensemen that will be on the ice for the Grizzlies tonight, and they've really done the job over the last month or so, getting the Grizzlies back in the playoff race.
Yeah, Tyson, this is a really solid group, and I really like the addition of Semick. I like the way that he's played, gets his first professional point in Friday night's win. So I think that's just the start for him. I think he's going to bring great things into this lineup. You mentioned there's just guys all throughout that unit that are playing well. Connor McDonald is having a really nice season, as is James Shearer. Aaron Tho, as of late, has really stepped up. So I like what I'm seeing from the Grizzlies defense.
It's interesting. I looked up the stat because it seemed like the shot count's really been in the Grizzlies' favor a lot more over the last 15 games. And the Grizzlies, over their last 15 games, have taken 586 shots, an average of 39.06 shots per game. Now, prior to February 11th, the Grizzlies had averaged 28.43 shots per game. So they're averaging over the last 15 games an average of 10.5 more shots than they were before that, before February 11th. And I think that was a turning point in the season. The Grizzlies had lost 4 in a row. They lost 7-1 against Rapid City. And even though they lost on February 11th in overtime to Rapid City, that felt like the turning point of the season. And ever since then, Grizzlies have a standing point in 12 of their last 15 games. So I look at February 11th. Whatever happened between the February 10th 7-1 loss and February 11th, things started to turn around for the Grizzlies.
I agree, Tyson. I think that exactly was the turning point. Ever since then, the Grizzlies have seemed to have been able to score 5-on-5. The offense has looked a lot better since then. You bring up that stat with the shots, and it really all makes sense now. But I think about that 7-1 loss to Rapid City, and you think about prior to that, there was the series against Allen where the Grizzlies did not play well defensively, did not really play well offensively either. And I think Coach Kanasowicz, Coach Pike probably went in there and said, hey, we can't let this happen. We got to find a way to turn this thing around. And you think about that overtime loss to Rapid City. And I remember myself during that game thinking that the Grizzlies played well in that loss. And despite losing that game, I thought that could be a win or a loss rather, where they take that and they turn it into a positive. And it looks like they did, because ever since then, they've really been clicking.
Who's your pick for the Optum first school of the game? Optum is creating a healthier world, one insight, one connection, one person at a time. Optum is putting you at the center of everything we do. I'm going to go with Dakota Raby as my pick for the Optum first goal of the game. He's got 10 goals this season. He's got a point in 12 of his last 14. Who's your pick for the Optum first goal of the game?
Tyson, I'm going with Keaton Jamison. He's been a little quiet recently, but he knows to turn it on. We know that he can turn it on, so I think tonight is the night. I think Keaton Jamison gets the first goal of the game.
We'll give you the starting lineups when we come back as the Grizzlies take on the Allen Americans for the 12th and final time this season on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
Welcome back to Utah Grizzlies Hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting here with Guy Chiarenza. Let's get to the starting lineups for both teams. First, for the visiting Utah Grizzlies, who have a record of 29, 27, and 3 on the year. They are led by second-year head coach Ryan Kanasowicz and first-year assistant Jared Pike. The starting lineup for the Grizzlies, who are 6-1 in the month of March. They are also 6-1 on Sunday games this season. Starting in net is Trent Miner, who's got a record of 12, 12, and 2 with 2 shutouts, a 3.02 goals against average, and 912 save percentage. Miner led the league with 7 shutouts this season as he is the Grizzlies shutout king. With 9 total, he has 10 professional shutouts. He'll be wearing number 50 for the Grizzlies. His backup will be Lucas Parikh. Starting defensive pairing, Aaron Tho, who's a plus 14 in his last 15 games. He'll be wearing number 28. He's got 4 goals and 9 assists in a Grizzlies uniform this year. He'll be paired up with Jacob Semick, who's playing his 3rd professional game. Semick was signed earlier this week. He's a native of Canton, Michigan. That's where he was born. And I don't know if he was born in Canton, Michigan. He might have been born somewhere else. But, Semick played 4 years. Actually was born in Canton, Michigan. A good memory by me, and he just finished up a 4-year college career at Arizona State University. He'll be wearing number 40, 6'1", and 188 pounds. So Tho and Semick will be the starting defensive pairing. We also see the captain, Connor McDonald, who's got 3 goals and 11 assists in 53 games, and McDonald leads the Grizzlies with a +5 rating. James Shearer will also be out there. Shearer will wear an A on his sweater. He's going to wear number 10. He's got 4 goals and 15 assists in 41 games. Bryson Martin and Kyle Pouncey are the other 2 defensemen. The starting forwards for the Grizzlies, Dylan Fitz, who's 3rd on the club with 15 goals this season. He also has 15 assists. Fitz, along with Tyler Penner, have appeared in every game this season for the Grizzlies. So Fitz will be in there wearing number 13. He'll be paired up with Zach Sekos. Sekos has 11 goals and 10 assists in 26 games. And Taryn Fizer wearing number 8. Fizer has 23 goals and 18 assists in 49 games. Fizer has a goal in 4 straight games, 5 goals in his last 4 games. He leads the club with 23 goals, and he also leads them in power play goals with 10. So starting forward pairing, the trio is Fizer, Fitz, and Sekos. Starting defensive pairing is Tho and Semick. Grizzlies are going with 10 forwards and 6 defensemen tonight. We will also see Keaton Jamison in the Grizzlies lineup. Friday night's hero Cameron Wright will be in there. Jared Power will wear number 20. Tyler Penner will be in the lineup because, of course, he will be. As Penner has appeared in all 59 games this season, this is game number 60 for the Grizzlies. Penner is going to wear number 21. He's appeared in every game for the Grizzlies since the start of the 2021-22 season. Christian Simeone, the second-year pro at Merrimack, will be in there. And Vladislav Mikhalchuk is in the lineup as well, wearing number 25. Scratches for the Grizzlies this afternoon. Corey Thomas, who's celebrating a birthday today. It's Corey Thomas's birthday. He's wearing number 3. He's out of the Grizzlies lineup. Also celebrating a birthday is Cam Strong. Strong got injured on Friday. We don't know anything, but we know that he's out of the lineup this afternoon. Victor Bartley's also out for the Grizzlies, as is Johnny Walker. And I think somebody else is also out of the Grizzlies lineup as well. The Rooster, Jordan Martell's out for the 6th straight game, and Garrett Metcalf is the 3rd goaltender. So that's the scratches for the Grizzlies tonight, and it's a big one here against the Allen Americans. Utah has 61 points this season, tied for 3rd in the Mountain Division. Allen is in 5th place with 60 standings points. Starting in net for the Allen Americans is Chase Perry. Perry has appeared in every game this series in 16 contests this year. He's got a record of 10-4-1-1 with 1 shutout, a 3.05 goals against average, and .916 save percentage. Starting defensive pairing is Ryan Gagnon wearing number 3. He'll be paired up with Colton Sosserman, the Beard, who's got 4 goals and 27 assists in 51 games. But former Grizzly Eric Williams will also be in the Allen lineup, as well as former Grizzly Chris Mallory. Those will be a couple defensemen, Dalton Galley and Zachary Massicott, also in there defensively for the Americans. Starting forwards for Allen, Colton Hargrove wearing number 7. Hargrove is the captain. He'll be paired up with Kobe McCauley, number 29, and the league's leading scorer, Hank Crone, who's going to be wearing number 67. The lights are turned out over in Allen, a little bit of a red tint to it. And when we come back, we'll have face-off over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. It's the Grizzlies and the Americans. Face-offs coming up next on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Welcome back to Utah Grizzlies Hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting here with Guy Chiarenza. Guy, what do the Grizzlies need to do to get 2 standings points this afternoon?
Well, Tyson, they played an excellent defensive game the last time and they won, so they need to keep doing that here today. But I also would like to see the offense get a little bit more production. We only saw 1 goal from them throughout the course of the game, so I'd like to see a little bit more on that side of things.
When we come back in 90 seconds, we'll have face-off over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. It's the Grizzlies and the Americans coming up next on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue.
Expectations here will always remain high, and we'll continue to find a way.
Guys put together a lot of good games, you know.
Great night for hockey as two big standings points are on the line this afternoon as the Utah Grizzlies face the Allen Americans for the 12th and final time in the regular season. Utah is 4-7 against Allen this year, but Utah is 3-2 against the Americans over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. Watch out for Hank Crone, who has 20 points against the Grizzlies in 11 games, 11 goals and 9 assists. Jack Combs has 18 points in 11 games against the Grizzlies. Colton Hargrove, 16 points in 11 games. And Liam Finley, 14 points in 9 games against the Grizzlies. But, Guy, all 4 of those guys were scoreless against the Grizzlies on Friday night as Utah won 2-1. Utah's going to need a big effort from Taryn Fizer once again, who's got a goal in 4 straight. And Zach Sekos has 4 goals in 6 games against the Americans. I look for Fizer and Sekos to be big early on for Utah.
Tyson, I think those guys are going to play a big role in whether or not the Grizzlies win this game tonight. The defense is the defense, and they need to find a way to shut down Allen's fantastic 4 once again. But you mentioned Fizer and Sekos. Fizer looked really good in the 2 games earlier on in this series. I expect him to play fantastic here tonight again.
In 4 games against Allen this season, Trent Miner's got a record of 2-2 with a 2.19 goals against average and 936 save percentage. And Miner will be in net for the Grizzlies this afternoon as Utah is wearing the white jerseys with black numbers and professional green trim. Allen's wearing a navy blue jersey with white numbers, white lettering, red on the shoulders, red pants, navy blue mixed in to the socks. Certainly a good look by the Allen Americans, who have good colors. And we'll see. It's a good uniform matchup here between the Grizzlies and the Americans. As Zach Sekos will take the face-off as they roll up the red carpet at center ice. Looks like a good Sunday afternoon crowd over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. It's still a little bit too chilly to go out and play golf. You might as well hang out and enjoy a little bit of Grizzlies hockey with us on a Sunday afternoon. As the draw is going to be at center ice, the Grizzlies are going to be skating from left to right as we see it on Flow Sports, hopefully, and your mind's eye see it on YouTube. Colton Hargrove will take the draw for Allen. He's got 33 goals and 35 assists in 52 games. 2 referees, Jake Jackson and Austin O'Rourke. The 2 linesmen are Quinn Schaefer and Felix Antoine Voyer. As the puck is dropped, Allen wins the faceoff, and we're underway on a Sunday afternoon as Aaron Tho to the near side will tap it off the boards. And it goes deep into the Allen zone. Fizer chases after it, but icing is called on the Grizzlies as we get our first whistle 12 seconds into the game. Everybody make your pick for the Optum first goal of the game. I'm going with Dakota Raby. Guy, who's your pick for the Optum first goal?
I'm going with Keaton Jamison, Tyson.
You're going with Keaton Jamison. He's got 11 goals this season. Dakota Raby has 11 goals as well. Draw is going to be in the Grizzly zone in the near side. Sekos and Hargrove once again, and this time Allen wins the faceoff as McCauley throws up top for Chris Mallory. He'll take a shot, and it's blocked by Jacob Semick. Grizzlies rink-wide pass bounced off the stick of Taryn Fizer as he was trying to enter the Allen zone. As the Americans move it ahead to Hank Crone, who drops it out for McCauley, who gets around, Fitz, skates towards left circle, takes a shot, saved by Miner. Fits around the net, gets taken away by Crone. Crone to the right side, sharp-angled shot, more of a pass to Hargrove that goes wide. Now Hargrove gets it from McCauley. He'll feed it back to the high slot for Sossom. He'll take a righty shot, and he scores. And the Beard scores for Allen. He gets his 5th of the year, and 41 seconds into the game, Allen has scored first. The lights go off in Allen. Everybody holding up their goal light, and Colton Sosman with a blast from the high slot that went glove side over Trent Miner. So Allen draws first blood. Neither team scored in the first period on Friday. Guy was just one of those. I'm not sure if Miner really had a good look of it.
Yeah, Tyson, it really doesn't look like he really had a good sight on the puck there. But for the Grizzlies, that's not the start that you wanted.
Allen scores first, 41 seconds in. We'll see who gets the assist on the Sosserman goals. Allen wins the draw. Zachary Massicott crosses center ice. It bounced off of Cameron Wright. It goes to James Shearer in front of Utah's net. Now Shearer behind the net throws to the far corner for Dakota Raby, who's about as fast as anybody on the Grizzlies roster. Raby throws to the near corner for McDonald. Now across to Shearer as the Grizzlies spread the ice. Shearer chips it ahead towards Raby. Raby moves ahead to his right for Cameron Wright. He gets knocked down. No call on the play as Allen will skate towards the far corner of their own zone, and they'll tap it out to the left point. Grizzlies keep it in. Now Allen pokes it away as it flips high into the air near Raby, but it goes to the newest member of the Allen Americans, Yakov Novak, making his professional debut. He played at Northeastern University. Allen just recently signed in. As it goes back to the right side, as Utah gets it, Connor McDonald skates in, right circle, shot, and it goes wide as he tried to go stick side on Perry. Now Allen throws it to center ice. It's picked off by Raby. He skates down the middle, gains the line, right wing pass to Jamison. Jamison tried to feed it out to Raby out in front and bounced off his stick and rolls towards the end boards. Mikael Robidoux leads Allen in penalty minutes in the corner. Cameron Wright gets held up. Robidoux skates over there. Puck goes back around. Jamison chases after it. Ryan Gagnon gets it behind Allen's net. He'll drive it ahead. Pass picked off by Utah. Keaton Jamison left side takes a shot that goes wide as he was hoping Jared Power, number 20, would pick it off. As puck goes past McCallchuck, Allen thought about gaining the offensive line. Now they have to back it out to neutral ice as Robidoux will throw it back into the Allen zone as the Americans lead 1-0 as there's 17:41 and counting left in the first. Chris Mallory, the former Grizzly, third-year pro out of Penn State, throws to his left for Crone. Crone gains the line, tries to get to the corner. He gets around Bryson Martin, but Sekos gets the puck and spins it around. Power turns it over. Crone over to the right circle. Lefty shot. Saved by Miner. That was taken by McCauley. McCauley throws to the far corner. Power intercepts it. He'll tap it off the glass. It goes deep into the Allen zone. And the arm is raised by the linesman, and icing is called on the Grizzlies with 17 minutes and 17 seconds left in the first. Who got the assist on the Sosserman goal?
Well, Tyson, just 41 seconds in, it is Colton Sosserman getting his 5th goal of the year, and that's assisted by Colton Hargrove and Colby McCauley. So Hargrove held pointless in Friday night's win. He's already got a point here tonight.
Hargrove gets his 36th assist of the season, and Kobe McCauley gets his 14th assist of the campaign. Grizzlies win the draw. They cross center ice and dump it in. Allen skating from right to left in the first period as Mallory gets around Zach Sekos. Now Mallory's at center ice. He's got good size and speed. He'll get over to Hank Crone, who's a little guy but moves around pretty well. Hargrove back towards Crone. It bounced off of McCauley's stick as Hargrove fires towards the net. It's blocked in the slot by Shearer, who moves it ahead to Zach Sekos. Sekos back in his own zone. 3.5 minutes in, Allen leads 1-0. Sekos gets taken away. It looks like Allen's got a renewed spirit here tonight. Pfizer throws it out to center ice. It's past Power and rolls towards Fitz. Fitz gains the line, throws it to Sekos in the high slot. Sekos trying to throw it behind his back, but didn't get much on the pass. Puck goes to Liam Finley. He gains the line and drops off in the left side. Combs trying to find Finley out in front of the net. Pass goes wide. Connor McDonald did a good job boxing out Finley. As Jacob Semick will lift it high into the air. It bounces at center ice. Massicott actually caught it before it got the ice. Impressive move by Massicott. Now Fitz, right wing. He looks to center it. Nobody home for the Grizzlies. It bounces off the left corner as the Americans will tap it off the far side. Fitz gets it in the left point. He'll take a righty shot that goes wide. 4 minutes in, Allen leads 1-0. Americans back in their own end. As Jack Combs throws it back to Massicott, who feeds it to the far side. Now Allen gets it back to Massicott, who's in front of the Allen net. He'll throw it behind his back as the Americans, Eric Williams. In his third game in Allen, he was just recently acquired in a trade, crosses center ice and rolls it around the wall. If Eric Williams' name sounds familiar, he was with the Grizzlies in the 2019-2020 season. He was a plus 19 for Tim Branham's crew as Utah gains the offensive line. Raby to the right side, throws it towards Shearer. Take a lefty shot, saved by Perry. Allen gets the rebound. They skate around Perry's net as Grant Hebert gets tripped up by Raby. I think the official spotted it, and he did. Delayed penalty, and it's going to be on the Grizzlies as Ryan Gagnon skates behind an empty net. As skating off is Chase Perry. Delayed penalty as Hebert, he gets hit by Cameron Wright. Now Gagnon wants to go after Cameron Wright as Wright gets pushed along the glass by Gagnon. Dakota Raby tripped up Grant Hebert at the Allen blue line. And so Allen's going to be on the power play with 15. We got 15:09 left in the first. And, it was a good call by the referee. Raby tripped up Hebert. And the Grizzlies' penalty kill was a perfect 8 for 8 on Friday night. Both teams had yesterday off, but 8 for 8 on Friday. The Grizzlies are going to need a similar type of penalty kill effort here this evening.
Yeah, Tyson, they are. And really, the Grizzlies, just not really the start you wanted. First, you give up the first goal within the first minute of the game. Now you're already on the penalty kill. The penalty kill's got to be sharp.
Wright's in the box as well. We got a 5-on-3. Cameron Wright got a penalty as well as he delivered a hit before the whistle blew. So 5-on-3 for 2 minutes. Allen already leads 1-0 as Wright and Raby are in the penalty box. Allen wins the face-off. Liam Finley will throw up behind Utah's net. Now Finley gets it in the near side behind the goal line. He'll throw it back over to Hargrove. As Hargrove, actually it's Jack Combs up top for Sauceman. Back around Jack Combs as goes to Finley. Finley up top for Hargrove. Back to Finley as Allen made some adjustments to their power play, moving Hargrove to the left side. As Hargrove over towards Saucerman, who scored Allen's goal 41 seconds in. Now to Finley on the left side. Finley skates to the left point. Now he skates towards the high slot, gets to Hargrove, swings and misses on a one-timer. Hargrove gets it back, though. Now he's to the right side all alone. He'll take a lefty shot, and it's blocked before it gets to Minor. Hargrove gets it, looks at center to Crone, who couldn't handle it. Now it goes up top for Sauceman. Sauceman skates towards his right. Now he feeds it to the far goal line for Combs. Back up top for Hargrove. He's more to the left side. Now he feeds it to his right for Sauceman. Now back to Hargrove. Now Finley gets it behind the goal line near side. Finley over to Hargrove. Back across to Crone. He'll take a shot. And it goes wide on a one-timer. Jack Combs back up top for Sauceman, who skates towards his left. Drops it off for Crone. Crone switches places with Hargrove as Crone gets to Hargrove. 43 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Now Jack Combs. Far goal line over to Sauceman, back to Hargrove. One-timer. Minor makes the save. He was on his backside and made the save anyway. Puck still in play. Finley over to Sauceman, back to Hargrove, who faked a one-timer and gathers it. They'll throw it to the far goal line for Combs. Back up top for Sauceman. Now to Hargrove. One-timer, and he scores. Boy, you talk about patience paying off for the Americans. They got Colton Hargrove, a one-timer in the right circle, and he fired away. It's a 5-on-3 power play goal for the Americans. And I don't recall the Grizzlies clearing the puck out of the zone once in 1 minute and 34 seconds as Allen's taking a 2-0 lead. It's amazing just how patient they were looking for that perfect shot, and they finally got it.
Yeah, Tyson, you mentioned that patience. That seems to be the essence of the Americans' power play. And I almost thought that the Grizzlies might escape and get the kill here, but they were doing a great job of getting shot blocks. But Allen, you mentioned that patience. They stuck with it, and they ended up getting the goal.
Raby's out of the box. Wright is still in there, so it's still a 5-on-4 power play for 20 seconds. Utah wins the faceoff. They're dancing around in their own zone as Bryson Martin has it, wearing number 14. Now chip it out to center ice, and it goes into the Allen zone. Sekos chases after it. Chase Perry behind his net will feed it to the far side as we're about 7 minutes in, and Allen leads 2-0. As Grizzlies gather it to neutral ice, Sekos will dump it in. Cameron Wright's out of the penalty box, so I can't necessarily call it a successful penalty kill as Allen scored on the 5-on-3. As it goes to the far side, Allen feeds it to center ice. The Americans, Grant Hebert dumps it in, picked off by Utah as the Grizzlies will ice the puck. And it looks like the arm is raised by the linesman. 12:51 left in the first. Allen leads 2-0. As Colton Sauceman and Colton Hargrove have the Allen goals. The Colton and Colton show over in Allen. The Americans also have two guys named Dalton Galley and Dalton Skelly, although Skelly, I believe, is a scratch for the Americans today. It's the Americans 2 and the Grizzlies 0. It's already more goals today for Allen than they had all of Friday. It was Utah won 2-1 in a shootout. Allen won on Thursday 7-4. This is the rubber match of the 3-game set. Allen wins the faceoff. Hebert gets taken away, goes to neutral ice. Grizzlies chipping out to the center ice logo and taken back by the Americans. As Allen skates towards the offensive zone, they gain the line to the right point and whip it around the boards. Puck goes back to the left corner as Allen will skate back to the point, and it's Grant Hebert feeds it towards the left circle. Shot gets kicked away by Minor. Weiser gets the rebound to the near side. He'll throw a rink-wide pass. It connects. Grizzlies will dump it in. Penner chases after it. No icing. Penner, the second-year ECHL player out of Colgate. He spent 2 years ago in the SBHL. Now throws slot shot saved by Perry, and Allen clears it out to center. Grizzlies will skate back into their own zone as Bryson Martin, 8th different ECHL team he's been on. Over to Raby on the far side. Raby being shadowed by Colton Hargrove as Raby throws it around to Martin in the near corner of the Grizzlies zone. He'll whip it out, cross-ice pass, and it doesn't connect as icing's on the Grizzlies. 11 minutes, 55 seconds left in the first. Looks like the Grizzlies are trying to spread the ice and see if they can find a way to get an odd man rush, but that pass just isn't connecting as of yet.
Yeah, Tyson, and I think the difference right now in this game, it seems like Allen came out, they were ready to play. They have to have been upset with the way that they played on Friday. Seems like they have a little bit more of a jump in their step. If the Grizzlies can find a way to match that, I like the strategy of spreading the ice.
Allen wins the face-off. Mallory throws it to Sauceman. I look to center, but it bounced off the stick of Kobe McCauley and rolls towards the near corner. McCauley throws a push at Cameron Wright. Wright draws a lot of penalties. Now Wright with a push of Hank Krohn. Now everybody's going after Cameron Wright. Grizzlies will carry it out to center ice. Now into the zone. Raby drops it off, but nobody was at the left point. Now skating in, keeping it in though, as he'll skate towards the corner, but loses the puck. Puck rolls around from one corner to the other. Raby gets hit by Chris Mallory. Those guys played in the Big Ten. Mallory at Penn State and Raby at Michigan. Krohn gains center ice on a pass, and he'll lift it high into the air. It's gloved by Miner on the far side to the side of his net, and he drops it for McDonald. As a former Bowling Green product, Connor McDonald will throw it towards the far side. Bowling Green, it's been about 40 years since they made the NCAA basketball tournament, and they'll dump it in. As Massacott will ricochet off the end boards, goes back over to Eric Williams, back to Massacott, who lets it go. As Jack Combs in the near side will throw it back to Massacott, who's behind Allen's net. He'll chip it to the far side for Eric Williams. Pass ahead doesn't connect, and Allen is called for icing. 10 minutes, 51 seconds left in the first. That's about exactly 1 minute after Utah iced the puck. Kind of interesting. Both teams had yesterday off, but it looks like both teams are kind of working the puck around as if they're a little bit fatigued this afternoon.
Yeah, it's a little interesting, but you got to think it's the third game of the series. There's got to be that fatigue settling in. And speaking of fatigue, think about Chase Perry playing his third game of this series. Trent Miner, this is only his second, so maybe the Grizzlies have an advantage there.
Luckily, both teams had Saturday off, which is the way it should be. No team should ever have to play a 3-3. The Grizzlies win the face-off, far side. Righty shot goes wide. Perry might have gotten a piece of it as Combs moves ahead. Liam Finley's got a breakaway. He skates down the middle, take a righty shot, he scores. And just like that, it's now a 3-0 game as Liam Finley got a breakaway from about the Utah blue line in. He gets his 30th of the season, and with 10:38 left in the first, it's the Americans 3 and the Grizzlies nothing. With Finley's speed, and he had about 2 steps on the Grizzlies, he can make just about any move he wants to. Looked like he went 5 on Trent. This is a tough start for the Grizzlies, who have gotten off to good starts over the last month.
It is a tough start, Tyson. And I'll tell you what, I think that Liam Finley might be the most dangerous player on the ice for Allen. And unfortunately for the Grizzlies, they just didn't pick him up, and he bursted in to the Grizzlies zone, had a breakaway, and he just beats Trent. I don't really expect Trent to make a save on that. He's a fantastic player. So Grizzlies find themselves in a deep hole early.
Colton Saucerman, Colton Hargrove, and Liam Finley have the Allen goals. Americans win the face-off. They're skating from right to left in the first period as they dump it in from around center ice. Taken by the Grizzlies, who skate around Miner's net. As taking it to the right side is Utah. They go back behind their net for Bryson Martin. Martin will now skate down the middle. He'll feed it to the far side. Grizzlies gather it. Utah gains the line. They skate towards the left circle. Sekos with a shot, and it gets blocked by Sauceman's stick, so Sekos couldn't get a full shot off. As the Americans back to the far side, throw it from one corner to the other from Mallory. Mallory lifts it high into the air. It's gloved by the Grizzlies at the Utah blue line. As the Grizzlies will feed it out to neutral ice on the right side for Jamison. Jamison dumps it in before crossing the blue line as he gets hit by Chris Mallory. Now it's taken by Saucerman, who's already got a goal tonight. Mallory over to the right corner, back to Saucerman. We're halfway through the first period. Allen leads 3-0. Americans get held up by Christian Simeone as they move it ahead to Kobe McCauley, who throws it from the far side over to the near boards. As Grizzlies try to push him out of the zone, Hargrove throws it to McCauley. He's being shadowed in the corner now, back up top for Krohn. Krohn in the left point, looks to center. It goes past Simeone on to Gagnon. Gagnon chips out front to Hargrove. Will take a shot, and he scores. And that will make it a 4-0 hockey game as Gagnon was on the right side, centered to Hargrove, who gets his second of the game. This one has gotten away from the Grizzlies early. It's 4-0 Allen, and even if it's not Trent Miner's fault, boy, the Grizzlies, in fact, Miner was actually pulled. We didn't get to see it, but Parik's in net. Preek replaced Trent Miner after Utah's third goal, apparently. So Preek is in net, and Allen now leads 4-0. They never did show up, but it looked like Preek replaced Miner after the third goal, and now Colton Hargrove, who got a centering pass. He was just stationed in front of the net. Gagnon was in the right circle and just centered it to him. Grizzlies won the face-off. 9:20 left in the first. Looks like Lucas Preek, who's got a record of 10-11 this season. He's in net for the Grizzlies, replacing Trent Miner. And that came after Allen's third goal. They never did show the goaltender change on the video screen that we're watching as the Grizzlies have the puck in their own zone. As Utah's down by 4. As Pennert will cross center ice, and he'll dump it in. The Grizzlies did overcome a 4-0 deficit on Halloween of 2021 against Allen, as they overcame a 4-0 deficit midway through the second period in that game. Eric Williams to the right corner, throws to Combs. Combs to the near side, loses it, and actually he'll throw it to Massicott. He'll get to the Allen blue line. He'll throw a right wing pass to center ice, and the Americans dump it in. Preek behind his net. We'll give it to the captain, Connor McDonald, who drifts it to the far corner for sure. Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the first period. Turnover as Allen to the left point. Jack Combs feeds out to the circle. McDonald gets tripped up, and it looks like a call is going to be made. As Utah's going to be on the power play for the first time tonight. As Pfizer gains the line, left side, he'll drop it off for Sekos. Now throw it back to center ice for Cameron Wright. 8:13 and counting left in the first. As Wright to center ice drops off for Pfizer, who wings over to the left side to Sekos. Now back to Pfizer. He's to the right side. He steps over the line as Pfizer gets towards the right circle, whips it around the wall. Right now behind the net, Grizzlies trying to feed it out in front to Pouncey. Allen gets it and touches up the puck. And Utah will be on the power play for the first time this afternoon when we come back in 30 seconds. Allen leads 4-0 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Leads 4-0, 7:57 left in the first period. Looks like our feed went down. That's certainly kind of, reminiscent of how this start has gone, as Utah's going to be on the power play for the first time tonight, as Jack Combs is serving 2 minutes. Americans lead 4-0. Colton Hargrove has 2 goals. Liam Finley and Colton Sauceman have each tallied goals for Allen. If you or someone you know been charged with a DUI, Rogers and Russell is Utah's DUI defense firm. Consequences for driving under the influence in Utah are serious, and you need great attorneys on your first line. Look for a letter in the mail from Rogers and Russell inviting you to schedule a free consultation. Don't throw away or disregard this letter. Call and get Utah's best DUI defense team. Rogers and Russell. Combs is serving 2 minutes. There's 7:57 left in the first. Colton Sauceman scored 41 seconds in. Colton Hargrove made it 2-0 as he scored 6:27 in. 9:22 in. Liam Finley got a breakaway and scored. Jack Combs with the assists. And after Finley scored, Trent Miner is pulled. Grizzlies win the draw. Shot and a score! Cameron Wright gets Utah on the board. As Utah won the faceoff, Wright took one shot, and Perry made the save. Wright got the rebound and put it away. As Cameron Wright gets his 21st of the season. And it's a power play goal. It was 5 seconds into the power play. As Utah gets on the board, it's a 4-1 game. So Cameron Wright finds the back of the net for the 21st time this season. As Sekos took the draw, Sekos probably is going to get an assist on the Cameron Wright goal. It's now a 4-1 game as Tyler Penner will take the draw against Yakov Novak, who's 6'3", 215 pounds. Novak making his pro debut. As Grizzlies win the faceoff, James Sherp will throw it back over towards, I swear I heard the Grizzlies goal song as we were at Maverick Center. Raby crosses center ice and dumps it in. Perry behind his net will throw it towards the near side. Penner in the area. Gets it poked away. Massicott tried to get to Williams. Now Raby tries to feed it out in front. It bounced off an American. As Allen skating from right to left, will get it out to center ice. Cameron Wright scored 5 seconds into the power play. It's 4-1. We've already had a lot more scoring here this afternoon. Goal is right now listed as unassisted, 12:08 in. Massacon at the Allen blue line, moves out to center ice. It bounced off the skate of Liam Finley. As Grizzlies get it ahead, looking for Tyler Penner. It's picked off as Massacon will throw it back to Eric Williams on the right side. Now down the middle to Finley, just at the Allen blue line. He'll move it ahead to Combs. Back to Novak, who tried to dump it in but didn't get all the way to the corner. Now Novak picks it off. He looks to center it out in front to Finley. Utah will intercept it. As gliding towards center ice is Cameron Wright. He'll fire a shot and saved by Perry, who will move it ahead to Mallory. Mallory couldn't handle it as it goes back to Jared Power. He'll drop it off for Pouncey. Pouncey with a sharp angled shot. I tried to find somebody out in front and couldn't connect on it. As Raby towards the left wing boards, rolls it around the wall. Cut off by Sossaman. They'll feed it to the near corner as Allen will move it out to center ice. It's taken by Colby McCauley across the center ice. He'll chip it across. Allen will skate in. Sossaman in the high slot will roll it towards Lucas Preek, who covers up as Lucas makes the save. 6:26 left in the first period. Grizzlies get a power play goal from Cameron Wright. 12:08 in. It's the Americans 4 and the Grizzlies 1. We're back in 1 minute on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
6:26 left in the first period. Guy, the intermission report certainly is going to be busy.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot to recap on that one. But you mentioned, the Grizzlies get that goal 4-1. They're back. Well, they're starting to climb back into this game, and I really thought if they were going to do that, I would have to start with that power play, and they made it quick. They got it in, and so I'd like to see the Grizzlies build on that momentum here.
It's almost like Cameron Wright just willed himself to score a goal there. That's part of what makes him such a good hockey player. Is that second effort? As the first shot was saved by Perry, and then he scored on that second look. 5 seconds into the power play. Allen wins the draw. Puck is in the Grizzly zone. They look to center it, and Colton Hargrove couldn't reach it. Hargrove already on hat trick watch as he's got 2 goals tonight. Grizzlies cross center ice. Pfizer with a left wing pass to Fitz. Fitz just outside the left circle. Take a righty shot that goes wide. As Sekos towards the right side gets back checked by Hargrove. As Sekos skates back towards the right point, he'll drift it towards the high slot. Sekos keeps the puck and he'll dump it in. As rolls around the wall, Pfizer chips it across. Fitz with a right wing shot, left wing shot, saved by Perry, and he holds on. As Fitz was over towards the goal line, just fired away, but Chase Perry makes the save. 5 minutes, 50 seconds left in the first period. It's the final game of the road trip, and boy, I'm really looking forward to 6 straight home games. Starting on Wednesday, watching live hockey at Maverick Center. Nothing could be better. Don't forget that Wednesday is the Grizzlies' next game. It will be at Maverick Center, 7:10 against the Cincinnati Cyclones. And it will be a Bud Light College night with discounted student tickets. Don't forget that Friday, March 24th, will be military night. Guy and I will I'm going to put on the military jersey for the final 2 periods. And you can see what the jersey looks like on the Grizzlies YouTube feed, which is the official audio broadcast of the Grizzlies. And obviously, Flow Sports, the exclusive video stream provider of the league. But Friday's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be military night, and it's also an AFCU Friday where tickets start just $8 when you pay using your AFCU debit or credit card at the Maverick Center box office. And note that Saturday's game is turned into a Sunday game, as WWE will be in the building on Saturday. Sunday at 3:10 will be the series finale. And then the following week, the Wichita Thunder will be in town March 29th, 30th, and April 1st. So a big homestand coming up for the Grizzlies. 6 games, 3 against Cincinnati and 3 against Wichita. I'm really looking forward to watching some live hockey at Maverick Center.
Oh, Tyson, I'm really looking forward to that, being back at the Maverick Center with the Grizz Maniacs in the house. I'm looking forward to it. No better atmosphere than the Maverick Center.
Looking forward to Grizzmania at Maverick Center against the Cincinnati Cyclones this Wednesday, Friday at 7 o'clock and Sunday at 3 p.m. Draws in the Allen zone. 5:50 left in the first. Allen wins the face-off. They lift it out to center ice. It's gloved by Utah. Will chip it off the near wing boards. Tyler Penner gets hit by Robidoux at neutral ice. Puck goes back to Allen as rink-wide pass connects as Stephon Fournier looks to center. It bounced off an American, rolls back to Fournier, who skates around the Utah net, but it looks like a hand pass. The puck lifted about chest high. So the whistle blows with 5:32 left in the first. Cam Strong is out of the Grizzlies lineup. We're not sure. We don't have any update on it, but he's not in the lineup with a lower body injury. And the Grizzlies have been without Jordan Martell. He's missing his 6th straight game. Corey Thomas is out. By the way, Corey Thomas and Cam Strong each celebrating a birthday today. 2 different Grizzlies celebrating a birthday. Unfortunately, neither of them are in the Grizzlies lineup. Johnny Walker and Victor Bartley are out as well, and Garrett Metcalf's the 3rd goaltender. Allen wins the draw at neutral ice, dumps it in. Lucas Preek, who replaced Trent Miner 9 minutes in, as Grizzlies dump it into the offensive zone, but Allen gets the puck as Zachary Massacott, who's a big guy, as he'll throw it off the far wing boards, goes to Novak. Jakov Novak, he skates towards the right side, swings and misses on a right wing shot, and the puck glides towards Utah on the near side as Cameron Wright crosses center. He'll step over the line, right point shot, saved by Perry. Rebound goes out to Allen. American skating from right to left. Less than 5 minutes left in the first period as Raby moves it ahead. Puck goes back towards center ice, and Allen gathers it as the Americans will throw it to the left side. Pass connects to Finley. He'll drop it off for Combs. Left point. Lefty shot goes wide off the boards, and puck rolls towards Lucas Preek. We get a whistle, and with 4:38 left in the first, draw is going to be in the Grizzlies zone as Lucas Preek, after Allen's 3rd goal, entered and Trent Miner was replaced. Preek hasn't seen too many shots here, and there hasn't been a ton of shots. Utah 10 shots to Allen's 9. Preek has seen 2 shots. Colton Hargrove scored on one of them. Both teams have a power play goal here in the first period. We'll go over all the scoring during the first intermission as Utah wins the draw and throws out to neutral ice. Simeone feeds it across. Grizzlies skate in, but looks like they're offside as everybody stops skating. Well, there would have been a good chance for Utah had they not made the offside call, but it looks like the faceoff is going to come back to neutral ice. Looks like we're seeing a lot of long-range passes in this game. It doesn't look like either team's really skating it out to neutral ice. Looks like they're utilizing the long-range passing game.
Yeah, interesting approach here from both teams. I think that might be a byproduct of the defensive game that we saw on Friday night. Both these teams want to try and combat that.
Neutral ice draw won by the Grizzlies, who dump it in. As Dalton Galley skates around his net, he's now to the far side. As the Americans ship it out to center, Grizzlies gather it. As Bryson Martin in his white jersey with black numbers and professional green trim throws it to Kyle Pouncey. Pouncey at center ice gets it from Keaton Jamison. As Novak holds up Pouncey along the near boards, near center ice, near the penalty box area. Simeone gets it. He'll keep the puck. He thought about passing it. Now he'll throw a pass out to I think Bryson Martin deep in the Grizzlies zone. Martin paired up with Kyle Pouncey tonight as Martin in his 8th different ECHL team. He's got good size at 6'2", 195 pounds. I think I saw him walking in with Corey Thomas into the Grizzlies office as it looked like Corey Thomas was getting a workout in. It looked like Bryson Martin's dog was with them. Martin with the rink-wide pass that bounced off a skate and rolls towards Chase Perry, who covers up in front of the crease. 3:35 left in the first. Grizz will have an offensive zone draw. I like this threesome on the ice with Zach Sekos, Taryn Pfizer, and I think Cameron Wright's out there with them as well.
Well, Wright already has a goal in this game, Tyson, and I think if there's any 3 guys on the ice for the Grizzlies that are going to help them climb back into this game, it's got to be those 3.
And if it's not Wright, it's Dylan Fitz, who's got 15 goals this season. Grizzlies win the draw. High slot lefty shot is blocked. Puck rolls towards Aaron Thoe as he skates towards the right corner. Thoe looks to center it. It bounced off Perry and rolls back towards the end wall. As Dylan Fitz will skate towards the far goal line. Now chip it up for Thoe. Take a lefty shot saved by Perry. Now Pfizer tries to feed it out in front. Sekos gets hit in the back and couldn't accept it. As it goes back to Pfizer on the left side. As he'll skate towards his right. Pfizer looks to center. It's picked up by Hank Crone. As Crone crosses center ice, the league's leading scorer. Goes over to the left side as Allen back behind the wall. As Crone gets hit by Jacob Semick. Puck rolls towards the far side for Sekos to get spun around. Now Allen to the right side will feed it behind the net as Semick over there shadowing Hargrove. Hargrove centers to Crone. I gets the centering pass in. Shot and a score. Tic-tac-toe. Kobe McCauley has made it a 5-1 game as he gets his 6th of the year. As Hargrove was to the right side, he got it to the left circle for Crone, and then Crone centered it out in front to McCauley. And Allen pumps in another one. It's 5-1. It's been the big guns for Allen getting it done. Kobe McCauley in past years with Idaho had given the Grizzlies fits, and McCauley gets another one in. And a couple of those goals where it looked like Allen just stationed a guy right in front of the net, and it looked like they were able to get the puck unimpeded.
Allen's puck movement, Tyson, is matched by none. I mean, they move the puck so beautifully. It's really fun to watch, but unfortunately for the Grizzlies, they're on the bad end of this one. Another one in the back of the net.
5-1 Allen, 2:45 left in the first. As Utah wins the face-off, as Kobe McCauley got his 6th of the year, as the Grizzlies will move it ahead towards Tyler Penner at the Allen blue line and gets poked away. As Allen crosses center ice, Robidoux gets back checked by Cameron Wright. As the puck goes to Dakota Raby, who gets around Massacott. Now Raby to the right circle. I look to center, but a bounced off of Williams. Back to Raby. Now to the high slot for Shearer. He'll take a shot and he scores. James Shearer was in the high slot. He fired a lefty shot and went through. I don't know if it got redirected. It looks like James Shearer gets his 5th of the year. 2:21 left in the first. It's Allen 5 and Utah 2. Boy, Chase Perry looked like he had no vision. There was just too many bodies out in front, and Shearer got it cleanly. You get bodies out in front, you get all that action, and it really plays tricks on a goaltender. So James Shearer gets his 5th of the year. It's Allen 5, Utah 2. As Connor McDonald out to neutral ice. He'll cross center, try to dump it in, but it just got into the Allen zone, but not all the way. As puck goes back to neutral ice, McDonald will feed it now. It's at center ice. Tyler Penner gets it. He'll skate towards the right circle. He'll bounce it off of Massacott, and puck rolls back to Massacott from Combs. He'll throw it to the far side. Less than 2 minutes left in the first period. Allen leads 5-2. As the Americans spread the ice, Massacott will feed it to the right side as Allen will cross center ice. Eric Williams drives it around the wall as McDonald to the left corner gets it. Fumbles it for a second. Now Allen gathers the puck. Finley look to center it. Grizzlies get a stick in away as it rolls towards the right point. Allen settles into the offensive zone. They get it up top for Gagnon, who skates towards the right point as he backpedals. Now he'll throw it back to Finley. He'll get it across off the boards. It's to the right point. Allen couldn't get it off the wall as McDonald moves it ahead. Allen chases after it. Gagnon gets there before Dakota Raby as Gagnon was back towards the point, and Raby was a little bit deeper in the Grizzlies zone. Gagnon over to Galley, who throws the center ice for Hargrove, who crosses center. He'll chip it over to Crone, back over towards number 22, Galley. Back to Hargrove. Crone around the wall trying to get it towards Hargrove, and Hargrove couldn't handle it. 1 minute left in the first period. Allen leads 5-2. McCauley gathers it in the right side, skates towards the circle. He's being shadowed by Raby as the Americans towards the right side. Gets it back as Allen skates towards the right point. Net gets dislodged as Hank Crone collided with Bryson Martin. Preek over there as well. McCauley pushes Bryson Martin as the whistle blows. 48 seconds left in the first. Looks like one of the referees is pointing a couple guys to the penalty box. As big collision out in front. Preek now pushes an Allen skater, and Preek's got some words for them. And if you're going to want to win the game, you're going to have to contend with Allen in front of the net. Looks like Crone's going to the penalty box, and he's going to serve 2 minutes. We'll see if somebody else goes in. I can't imagine Crone's going to be the only one getting a penalty. I imagine somebody for Utah might be going in as well. Crone puts 2 palms in the air and says, "What did I do?" Crone was in front of the net and just kind of backpedaled into Preek, and then that's when the net got dislodged. So it could just be Hank Crone, as he looked like he just kind of backed himself into Lucas Preek there.
Yeah, I think that might just be Crone. Seems like he got a little too close to Preek, and Preek went down, as did Crone. So Crone finds himself in the penalty box. Looks like it's going to be a power play for the Grizzlies here. Perfect chance to get another one here and make it a 2-goal game.
Crone gets 2 minutes. I guess for roughing, he just kind of backed himself into Preek, and the net got dislodged, and then Preek pushed him, and Crone probably has that look of, "What did I do?" You know, I don't think he thought that he did anything to warrant a penalty. But 48 seconds left. The Grizzlies are on the power play. Utah is 1 for 1 on the power play. As Cameron Wright scored 12:08 into the first period, and it was 5 seconds into a power play. Utah's power play this season is 18.9%. Allen's penalty kill this year is 82.4%. Draw is going to be in the Allen zone. Utah's outshot Allen 12-10. That means 5 of Allen's 10 shots and found the back of the net. For some reason, it seems like Allen, they could score in bunches against anybody. Unfortunately, from the Grizzlies' perspective, they've had a few games they've scored in bunches against Utah. We'll see if the Grizzlies can get some momentum heading into the locker room, see if they can get one late in the first period.
Tyson, the best case scenario here is the Grizzlies come out and score a power play goal with the remaining 48 seconds in the first period. That would make it a 5-3 game. The Grizzlies would have the momentum going into the locker room. I think that would really be big.
Utah's on the power play. Faceoff's going to be on the far side. Colton Hargrove will take the draw for Allen. Actually, Hargrove's kicked out of the faceoff circle. Zach Sekos will take the draw. Raby and Ryder up front with Sekos. Up top is Jacob Semick and Taron Pfizer. Semick, the defenseman that's on the ice for this power play. As Utah wins the draw, Pfizer throws it to Raby. Now back to Pfizer. Raby got hit. He got hit really hard. Over on the far side, he is down. Boy, Colton Hargrove looked like he hit a Grizzly. I think that's Dakota Raby. He hit him high. As Colin Lee, the Grizzlies trainer, goes out to look at him. Boy, looked like he's hurt. Boy, that was a high hit by Colton Hargrove, and the Grizzlies want to go after Hargrove. The linesmen are stepping in and not letting him do it. That's got to be a penalty, I'd imagine, for the high hit. As the Grizzly that we believe is Dakota Raby is down. Colin Lee, the Grizzlies trainer, well, we really like Colin, but we don't want to see him on Flow Sports because that just means that somebody's hurt, and it looks like he's hurt and he's not really moving all that much. So they go to center ice. Does one referee and one of the linesmen. And, boy, hopefully the Grizzly is okay. As he got hit up high by Colton Hargrove, I think the officials are talking it over to see, if a penalty should be called on Hargrove there or if it's just one of those unfortunate things.
That's a scary play, Tyson. That's a scary play because it was a pretty high-looking hit, so I have to imagine that there is a penalty to be addressed here. But if that is Dakota Raby, he did get hit earlier on in the season that knocked him out of the lineup for a few games. So he really wasn't, if that is Raby, he wasn't moving around at all, really, from what we saw on the Flow Sports broadcast. So it doesn't look that great. Hopefully he's going to be okay.
Yeah, he missed 5 games. He got hit up high against Rapid City on January 28th and missed 5 games. The Grizzlies dealing with some injuries. They don't have Cam Strong. Strong got injured on Friday. And Raby's usually on that power play unit. There with Pfizer, Sekos, Wright, and this time, Jacob Semick, who's the defenseman up top. And if you haven't been following Grizzlies hockey this week, Andrew Nilsson's ECHL rights were traded to Cincinnati, and Cincinnati is the Grizzlies' opponent. Unfortunately, instead of giving you any update on the injured player, we're getting an Allen Americans logo. If we're able to find out anything, we'll let you know. Especially if there's any sort of penalty or if the guy that's down comes back in the game. We believe it's Dakota Raby. But unfortunately, we're at the mercy of the video feed, and it was even though it was his body type and everything like that, looked like facial hair, which looked like what Dakota Raby's sporting. It's just unfortunate that we're limited so much as to what we're able to tell you. But there's 38.7 seconds left in the first period. We're not going to get a replay on the hit. We'd like to give Colton Hargrove the benefit of the doubt and say that was just one of those clean hits and unfortunate near the glass that ended up hurting Raby. Looks like a 5-minute penalty has been awarded to Colton Hargrove. I imagine that's a major. Connor McDonald talks things over. 5 minutes are put on the scoreboard clock on the score bug over in Allen. And I imagine that's a major penalty on Colton Hargrove. We'll see if we can get an update to see if Hargrove is going to stay in the game. But it looks like for some reason, it seems like, they got the Crone penalty in there. Crone got 2 minutes for interference, but Crone also got a 10-minute misconduct. I guess for arguing the call a little bit too much. This one's a separate one on Colton Hargrove. Looks like a 5-minute major. They haven't updated the box score on the ECHL app. Will let you know what it is. Could be an illegal check to the head or something, maybe cross-checking. We're not sure. Unfortunately, we didn't get a second look at it. And boy, we hope that the Grizzly player is okay. We believe it's Dakota Raby, but that's never something you want to speculate. And unfortunately, they didn't give us a camera angle to give us any sort of look one way or another. But there's 38 seconds left. And, the Grizzlies get a major power play here. They're down 5-2. They got to get 1, maybe 2 goals in this thing to climb back in the game.
Tyson, I'm interested in seeing what the response here is from the Grizzlies, not just on the scoring side of things, because they would have a 5-on-3 penalty here for the remaining part of the Crone penalty. But I'm interested to see physically how the Grizzlies respond to this. I mean, a high hit sends one of your guys out of the game. What's going to be the response? We've seen the Grizzlies be physical with Allen before. I'm interested to see who steps up for their teammate and really how the Grizzlies team rallies behind this.
Colton Hargrove got a match penalty, illegal check to the head. 5-minute major power play, including a minute 50 seconds worth of a 5-on-3 here, as there's 38.7 seconds left in the first. Looks like Hargrove gets the heave-ho. Boy, we wish we'd give you some sort of update as to whether the Grizzly player came off the ice on his own power, whether he needed to be helped off. We're not sure. And we're not sure if there's any Grizzlies fans over in Allen that could give us an update on that. Grizzlies win the draw over to the left side. Grizzlies skate towards the left circle. Righty shot, and it goes wide. I think that was Cameron Wright that took it. As Zach Sekos is out there, I'll throw it to the high slot for Semic. Back to Sekos. Over to Semic. Back to Sekos. As he'll throw it to the left corner for Pfizer. Back to Sekos. Up top for Wright. One-timer. And a stick flies in two pieces and goes flying towards the end boards. Allen clears it out. As Semic gets it, 10 seconds left in the first period. He'll skate down Broadway. Now he'll feed it to the left side. Grizzlies cross center. Utah chips over to the right side for Pfizer. Glanced off his stick. Allen clears it out. And that'll do it for 20 crazy minutes over at Allen Event Center. As the Americans scored 5 goals on 10 shots. The Grizzlies will have a 5-on-3 power play for a minute 12. And it looks like a major penalty on Colton Hargrove, who got a match penalty for an illegal check to the head. Now, remember, the Grizzlies were already shorthanded by a skater, 10 forwards and 6 defensemen heading into play tonight. And it looks like Dakota Raby, we believe it's Raby at least, got hit, got injured, and we can't give you any sort of update. We'll see if we give you an update if we possibly can. But Allen leads 5-2, and when we come back in 2 minutes, Guy Chiarenza will have the tough task of recapping the first 20 minutes of play, and we'll also talk some hockey and go over some scores from around the world of sports, and we'll talk about just how important this game and the rest of the season is to the Mountain Division standings. We're through one period over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. It's the Allen Americans 5 and the Utah Grizzlies 2 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Welcome to the Rio Tinto Kennecott Intermission Report. It's 5-2 Allen after 20 minutes of play. Wild 20 minutes. A lot to recap, so I'm going to be talking a little bit here. I'm Guy Chiarenza alongside Tyson Whiting. We're chilling here in the lobby, our studio, in the Maverick Center lobby. And what a wild first period. It started just 41 seconds in. Colton Saucerman gets his 5th goal of the year, assisted by Hargrove and McCauley. And then after that, it was 2-0 Allen on a Colton Hargrove goal. 6:27 into the first period. He got his 34th of the season, and Saucerman and Combs got the assist on that goal. That was a power play goal, as Cameron Wright was in the penalty box at that moment. And then Liam Finlay, 9:22 into the first period, made it a 3-0 game, getting his 30th goal of the year. Just blew past the Grizzlies defense. Nobody covered him, and he found himself on a breakaway, and he beat Trent Miner. Jack Combs gets the assist on that one, and that would be the end of Trent Miner's night. He would be replaced by Lucas Parikh. And when it rains, it pours. 10:36 into the first period, it was 4-0 Allen, as Colton Hargrove gets his 35th of the year and makes it a 4-0 hockey game. Ryan Gagnon and Hank Crone get the assists on that goal. But there was a response from the Grizzlies. 12:08 into the first period, Utah goes on the power play, and Cameron Wright gets his 21st goal of the year, unassisted at this time, although we believe Sekos may end up getting assist upon further review. So that made it a 4-1 game. And then 17:15 into the first, Colby McCauley gets his 6th goal of the year, making it a 5-1 Allen lead. Hank Crone and Colton Hargrove get the assists on that. And then 17:39 into the first period, just 24 seconds after the Allen goal, James Shearer gets his 5th goal of the year, assisted by Dakota Raby and Cameron Wright. And so that was that made it a 5-2 game. Although we did have some interesting occurrences towards the end of the period, as it looked like Colton Hargrove hit a Grizzly player up high. He received a match penalty, 5-minute major, illegal check to the head. He is gone. He is out of here. And so after 20 minutes, it's a 5-2 Allen lead. Grizzlies are currently in the middle of a 5-on-3 situation. Hank Crone also found his way into the penalty box and got a 10-minute misconduct. And so it looks like we're going to have a minute and 12 seconds of a Grizzlies 5-on-3 to start the second period. And then after that, the remainder of the Colton Hargrove 5-minute penalty will play out, which the Grizzlies can score as many times as they want on. So there is optimism for the Grizzlies to come back into this game. Utah's 1 for 3 on the power play. Allen is 1 for 2. Shots are 12-10 in favor of the Grizzlies. Trent Miner stopped 4 of 7. Lucas Parikh has stopped 1 of 3. And so, Tyson, for the Grizzlies, somber moment towards the end of that first period. Grizzly player goes down. We believe it is Dakota Raby. We did not get any confirmation as to if he was able to get up under his own power. We saw Colin Lee, the trainer, out there with him. But I'm interested to see how this Grizzlies team maybe rallies around that and finds a way to come back and win this game for him.
The Grizzlies slightly got to rally around him, and maybe with the final game in the regular season series, you're talking about if you got any beef, you got to settle it today. It'd be interesting to see, third period, if the game's not in doubt, the outcome, obviously Grizzlies want to find a way to win the game. If the game's not in doubt, things could get out of hand in the third period, potentially, considering this is the final time these teams will meet in the regular season. Obviously it's a potential playoff matchup. It's just one of those where I think that, it was a hit up high. I mean, obviously he got hurt, and, we didn't get a replay and we weren't there. I mean, it's hard to say. I think the folks in Allen probably would have a different interpretation, maybe what we saw. We want to give Colton Hargrove the benefit of the doubt, but he has been known to be a little bit physical at times, and he's got a size advantage. So it's like if Hargrove doesn't duck a little bit, he's a few inches taller than Raby. So what may have been looked to be, trying to be a clean hit, it ends up high, when you got a taller guy hitting on a shorter player. But that nevertheless, unfortunately, we didn't get a replay to really be able to confirm one way or another what it looked like. But I will say that, the Grizzlies defensively, you just got to find a way to clean up the crease. A couple of those Allen goals, and really, even though Trent Miner got pulled, I don't think any of it was Miner's fault. The Saucerman goal didn't look like he had much of a vision, as there was some traffic out in front, and Saucerman got it past him. Second was a power play goal, and the Grizzlies just couldn't clear the puck out of the zone. Allen had the puck, I believe, for a full minute and a half in the offensive zone, just kind of worked the puck, ultra patient. Grizzlies blocked a couple shots, but just couldn't clear the puck out. And eventually Hargrove had a good look from the right side and, was able to make it 2-0. And then Finlay had a breakaway on a pass from Jack Combs. And so obviously a breakaway, you're not going to, a goaltender can stop some of those, but he ain't going to stop all of them. And so it wasn't necessarily Miner's fault. It just unfortunately wasn't his day. And then, then Parikh goes in, first shot against him turns into a goal. And it's just like, can you find a way to slow down the bleeding? Luckily, the Grizzlies were able to get that power play goal that slowed things down a little bit. I think for the Grizzlies, you have to hope that you get something out of this major power play. You want to get a goal on that 5-on-3, and then maybe you can get one more, cutting into a 5-4 game, and then before you know it, it's anybody's game after that. So for the Grizzlies, yeah, you're down by 3, and it was a really tough defense. It was a tough first period defensively, allowing the 5 goals, but you're still in this one. There's still a ton of hockey left to be played, and the Grizzlies have shown they've been a pretty good third-period club coming back in games. Remember, in February, overcame a 3-goal deficit to get a standing point, overcoming a 2-goal deficit against Kansas City 8 days ago and they eventually won in the shootouts. And then even Thursday night, down 5-2, the Grizzlies scored 2 unanswered, made it 5-4. So, Grizzlies going to need that similar type of output here to come back in this one.
Well, it's going to take a big effort, Tyson, but I think there's a lot of optimism to be had for the Grizzlies coming back in this game. You think about that moment when Trent Miner gets pulled, and I agree. I don't think any of those goals were necessarily Miner's fault. It seemed like Allen had the jump ahead of the Grizzlies from the get-go. But I think at that moment in time, Coach Kanasevich has a choice. He can either call his timeout and keep Miner in the game, or he can replace Miner with Parikh. And I think in that moment, you want to save your timeout for a potential moment later in the game. So I'm not entirely against pulling Miner in that moment, just because of the way it could change the game. And Parikh, he's a good goalie in his own right. But I think there's a lot of optimism for the Grizzlies. I mean, you talk about this 5-minute power play here. You got the 5-on-3. That's big in itself. But think about this. Colton Hargrove, one of the Americans' biggest scorers, out of the game. Hank Crone, 10-minute misconduct. He's out for the next however many minutes are left on
probably
that.
About the first 9 minutes.
Yeah,
you got the 2-minute penalty, but it looked like, according to the box score, that you got a misconduct as well.
Yeah, so I mean, the 2 of the Allen's biggest scorers, they're out for at least 9 minutes. Hargrove out of the game entirely. So you got to think, if the Grizzlies can shore up defensively, they can maybe hold Allen at 5. And then you think about this power play is critical, though. The Grizzlies need to get at least 1 or 2 goals on this power play if they want a chance of winning this game. Not many teams can win an offensive shootout against the Allen Americans, but I think if there ever was a team that could do it, it would be the Utah Grizzlies here today.
It's already a multiple-point game for Cameron Wright, as looks like him and Dakota Raby each got an assist in the Shearer goal, 17-39, and that means that Raby now has a point in 13 of his last 15 games, but we do believe that it was Raby that got hit up high by Colton Hargrove, but Raby did get a point. And Cameron Wright already with 2 points, 1 goal and 1 assist. That's his 11th multiple-point game this season. The team lead is still Andrew Nilsson, who had 12 multiple-point games, but Nilsson's ECHL rights was traded to Cincinnati. And you talk about a guy in Cameron Wright who's now up to 48 points this season. I don't think you can say enough. And really what makes him such a good player, it's not just the goal we saw today, but that extra effort. The Grizzlies won the faceoff right there to start the power play. Took one shot, bounced off a parry, and then Wright went over, got his own rebound, and was able to score again. So for Cameron Wright, you're just talking about that effort. And we saw that in the game-winning goal against Kansas City in one of the games, the one that Utah won 2-1, and he scored late in the third period. It was that extra effort to get himself in that scoring spot, and that's, I think, something that Cameron Wright has done such a good job of. And you're talking about one of the he's not going to win Rookie of the Year because I think Hank Crone's a rookie, and he's got 84 points this year, but you talk about a guy that probably should be a candidate for the all-rookie team. I think you got to think about Cameron Wright now.
Well, Tyson, he's just such a dynamic player. And really, for my money, he's the Grizzlies MVP this season. He's been solid all season long. Whenever you need a big play, Cameron Wright delivers. And you mentioned him just willing goals into existence. It's that effort. It's really that determination that he brings to his game. He will not be denied. We saw that in Kansas City. He scores a goal, he will not be denied. When he puts his mind to it, this guy can do anything. And in big moments, he's been clutch.
And Cameron Wright's come on clutch, and hey, Taryn Fizer's due for a second period goal. After all, he's got 8 goals against Allen this season, so watch out for Fizer and Sekos here in the second period. And also watch out for Cameron Wright. He's already got 1 goal tonight, but he's had a few games where he's had 2 goals, and watch out for him as well, in particular on the Grizzlies' power play to start the second period. When we come back to the Rio Tinto Kennecott intermission report, we will go over the Mountain Division standings and why this game is so important and why the rest of the season we're doing scoreboard watching on the entire Mountain Division. And we will also have second period action as Utah will be on a 5-on-3 power play for the first minute and 12 seconds of the second. And then obviously 4 minutes and 22 seconds left in the major power play as Colton Hargrove got a match penalty for an illegal check to the head. We'll come back and talk in 2 minutes as Allen leads 5-2. You're in the first intermission on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, You always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
First intermission, we're hanging out in the lobby at Maverick Center, and we're at the mercy of what we see on Flow Sports. I'm Tyson Whiting here with Guy Chiarenza. Well, the Grizzlies will have the power play to start the second period, and this is a huge game in the standings. If you think about it, with as much firepower as the Allen Americans have at the playoff start today, the Americans will be on the outside looking in. They've got 60 standings points. They're in fifth place. The Grizzlies are in a tie for third with Wichita, as both teams have 61 standings points. Kansas City is in second place by themselves. They have 62 standings points. Kansas City lost 3-1 to Wichita last night, and Kansas City doesn't play today. There are 7 games in the league, and the only one involving Mountain Division opponents is Tulsa at Rapid City. Rapid City is 4 points back of a playoff spot, as Utah and Wichita tie for third with 61 points. Rapid City is in sixth place with 57 points, but Rapid City is 6-4 in their last 10 games. So if the Rush get hot late, they could join the playoff picture, and Tulsa right now is in last place with 46 points. And unfortunately for the Oilers, looks like they're going to miss the playoffs unless they literally win every game and then hope that other teams collapse. Idaho has clinched the division, and they've also clinched a playoff spot. They've got 99 standings points. But, guys, it's a huge game because if the Grizzlies win it, they take over second place. And if Allen wins it, they'd be tied with second with Kansas City, assuming they win in regulation. So, huge game in the standings, and that's what makes this upcoming week is Tony Park's entering the building at Maverick Center. The Salt Lake City Stars are playing at Maverick Center in just about an hour. If you got nothing to do and you want to watch some basketball, come on down to Maverick Center, watch the Stars play, and you also whip up either Flow Sports YouTube and watch the Grizzlies as well. But it looks like we got some fun here at Maverick Center, and we got some fun over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. But, Guy, we're doing some scoreboard watching the rest of the season because this is a jumbled mess from 2 through 5, maybe even 2 through 6 if Rapid City can play well here for the final 15 games of the season.
Yeah, Tyson, this is a big game here, but you mentioned that Mountain Division playoff race. I mean, it's like trying to untangle a ball of yarn, really. You got like 4 or 5 really good teams in the Mountain Division vying for only 4 spots, 3 really spots that are available right now. So the Grizzlies, this is not really a must-win game, but in my mind, it's a game that they need to win. A big game against a divisional opponent that you're neck and neck with in the standings in the Allen Americans. And the Rapid City Rush have really come around as of late. Don't count them out as well. It's going to be a heck of a run towards the playoffs here.
Well, obviously, Chet, take a look once if we ever get a chance to see if Dakota Raby returns to the game. We know that Cam Strong's out, and the Grizzlies are already rolling with just 10 forwards, and so other guys are going to need to step up. A little bit more time for McCall Chuck and Jared Power and Christian Simeone, guys like that. And obviously somebody's going to have to step into Dakota Raby's role. It looked like he was on a line today with Wright and Jamison, I believe. Jamison's going to have to play a few more minutes as well without Raby. And so guys going to have to step up. And for the Grizzlies, I almost feel even though it's still early in the game, still the first half of the game, it almost feels like what happens here in the first 5 minutes of the second period could end up dictating the terms of what happens the rest of the way.
I agree, Tyson. I think somebody's going to have to step up. I don't know who that player is going to be, but time and time again throughout the course of the season, somebody has stepped up for the Grizzlies. The situation is no different. Somebody's going to have to come into the fold and really prove their worth here. But I really think that the Grizzlies need to score at least one goal on the 5-on-3 and then another goal in the remaining part of the power play if they want a chance to win this game.
Allen leads 5-2. The Grizzlies are going to have a 5-on-3 power play to start the second period for 1 minute and 12 seconds. And then after that, might not be Hank Crone coming out of the box, as Crone, according to the ECHL box score that we're watching with to keep an eye on the stats, got a 10-minute misconduct as well. Looks like Allen won the face-off and dumped it in. Now Sekos gets it as we're back to live action as Jacob Semick over in the left point throws it across to Wright. Back to Semick in the high slot over to the right side for Wright. Now to the far goal line. Grizzlies get it and skate towards the point. As that's Zach Sekos. He skates towards the high slot. Now feeds to the right side. They trying to get it to Pfizer out in front, who swung and missed on a one-timer. Sekos on the left side gets it poked away by Justin Young. Puck goes out to neutral ice as Young will feed it towards the bench area and chase after it. Cameron Wright gets there first, though, as he gets it back to Sekos. 30 seconds left in the 5-on-3 as we're about 50 seconds into the second period. As Sekos gains the line, stops to the left point. He'll throw it across to Pfizer. Pfizer glides it up top for Semick. Semick will skate towards his left and drop it off for Wright. Wright skates towards his right, surveys, throws it back to the right corner for Sekos. I try to feed it out in front. It goes across and off the boards for Pfizer on the near side. Pfizer will switch places with Wright. Now back to Sekos, who fakes a one-timer over to Pfizer. One-timer, and it goes wide. As now we're skating 5-on-4. As Wright will throw it up top for Semick. It was Fournier in the box, and he'll join the play. Pfizer with a shot, and it's blocked. 3 minutes left in the major power play. Sekos hanging around just outside the right circle. Now Sekos skates towards the dot, feeds it across to Pfizer. It's picked off. As Allen tried to clear it out, bounced off of Pfizer, and it rolled off Pfizer's stick and goes to neutral ice. Wright gathers it, left point. He'll chip it across over to the right side for Pfizer. Pfizer skates towards his left. He'll chip it back to the right side for Sekos. Now back to Semick. He'll take a lefty shot. Saved by Perry. Rebound goes out to Chris Malario. Bouncing off of Sekos. It flies in the air. A Grizzly goes down as they'll feed it off the end boards. As Allen spins it around, Pfizer cuts it off on the left side. Pfizer will fire a shot that's wide. Grizzly skate from right to left in the second period. As we're 2 minutes in, still 5-2 Allen. Sekos to the right side, skates towards the circle as he surveys. Now he throws it up top for Semick. Back to Sekos, as Sekos dancing around the right circle. This same five-man unit's been out for the Grizzlies here for the entire second period. As Sekos over on the right side, dances around, throws up top for Semick. Now across to Pfizer, back to Semick, who's looking for his first pro goal. Take a lefty shot, and it's blocked, and Allen clears it out. Same five-man unit for 2.5 minutes as Lucas Preet behind his net will toss it towards the far side. As Utah finally makes a line change, Bryson Martin gets it. Martin skates around an Allen skater. He gets to center ice, right wing pass to Power. Now to Fitz. Fitz right wing. Shot goes wide. It might have been more of a pass around the boards as Penner rolls it back around for Fitz behind the net. Fitz battles with Dalton Galley. He moves ahead along the boards. Justin Young over to Robidoux, and the puck kicks out to center ice. Young will get to the Utah blue line and dump it in as Young collides with Tyler Penner behind Utah's net. Penner in the area, so's Fitz. Bryson Martin surveys. As Fitz gets the puck out of the pile, he'll get it across to Martin, who gathers it on the near side. 1:08 left in the major power play. Allen still leads 5-2. As Martin throws it ahead, looking for Tyler Penner. It didn't connect. Dalton Galley over to Gagnon. Now Allen clears it out, and they're shorthanded, so they certainly can do that without a replication of an icing. As Preek throws it to the far side for Semick. As there's less than a minute left in the major power play, Semick at center ice will throw it to the left. Sekos at neutral ice hangs around. Now he'll skate towards his right and drift it over to Pfizer. Back to Sekos at the Utah blue line. Sekos crosses center ice, skates down the middle. Left wing pass to Power at the left point. He'll roll it around as puck goes back to Utah. Right couldn't handle it. Allen clears it out. Grizzlies make a line change, chasing after it is Jacob Semick. Semick now behind the net. Oh, he stops on a dime behind Lucas Brake, and now a skate north-south. Looks like Semik's going to be a keeper. Looking forward to watching him at Maverick Center this week. As it goes back to Sekos, who crosses center ice left wing. Now Sekos gains the line, gets it across to Pfizer. Pfizer tried to drop it off for Wright. Now Wright gets it in the right corner. Up top for Semik. Back towards the right side as Grizzlies survey towards the right. As Sekos over towards Wright, who skates in from the far goal line, gets poked away by Perry. Semik keeps the line in the right point. Now to Sekos, back to Semik, trying to keep the line. It goes out to neutral ice. Allen crosses center, right wing, Aiden Brown. Number 25 skates towards his left. He'll drift over to the left circle. Shot saved by Parikh as the rebound goes to the Grizzlies. Utah crosses center. Pfizer over to the right side. Grizzlies trying to chip it across to right. It bounced off a Gagnon and flies out of play. 15-10 left in the second. Grizzlies couldn't score on the major power play. And you could tell the Grizzlies wanted to keep that five-man unit out, as it was the same five guys on the ice for each of the first 2 minutes and 30 seconds of the second period. The guy that just couldn't get one through.
That's a big-time missed opportunity, Tyson. It's tough to see the Grizzlies walk away with nothing on that power play. It really just seemed like the power play wasn't on the same page. It seems like there was an instance where two guys were going for the puck, and then they both backed away. They just couldn't get a read on the same page.
Draws give me in the left circle. Tyler Penner takes it. Simeone with a shot that's blocked. McDonald skates towards the right side, now to the far goal line for Penner. He chips it across looking for Michalchuk, and the puck glides off the end boards. Michalchuk collided with an Allen skater. Americans get it as Massicott over towards Justin Young. He skates towards the right circle, centers it, and it goes wide as he was looking for a cutter out in front of the net. As Simeone moves it ahead looking for Michalchuk. Instead, Simeone dumps it into the left corner. Gagnon chases over there. Michalchuk gets physical on Gagnon. Now it goes back to Allen as Dalton Galley skates down the middle. He crosses center ice. Gagnon drops it off for Hebert. Hebert skates towards the left side. Hebert had Allen's only goal on Friday. Hebert, big guy at 6'4", will throw it back to the left point for Galley. He'll feed it to the left circle for Liam Finley. Finley just out of the box after serving a misconduct. Of course, the box score could have been wrong as Allen left wing shot saved by Parikh. Might have been got blocked in front of him by Penner. Penner gets the puck. He'll skate towards the near side. He'll chip it ahead as Allen out towards center ice. Michalchuk / Jack Combs. No call as the Americans back towards. There is going to be a call on Michalchuk. As skating towards the bench is Chase Perry. Delayed penalty, and it's going to be on Michalchuk and the Grizzlies. Sossman wings it out to center ice, goes back to Allen as McCauley will feed it to the left side. Goes to Mallory, who gets hit by Aaron Tho. And the Grizzlies touch up. 13:51 left in the second. Still 5-2 Allen as Vladislav Michalchuk will skate towards the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. 2 minutes for slashing. And Allen will be on the power play when we come back in 1 minute. It's the Americans 5 and the Grizzlies 2 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club.
It's the Americans 5 and the Grizzlies 2. Vladislav Michalchuk is in the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. 2 minutes for slashing. 13:51 left in the second. As Dakota Raby is out of the game as he got injured late in the first period. Grizzlies also without Cam Strong today as he played in the first 2 games of this series. Draw's going to be in the right circle as Utah needs to do a job here on the penalty kill. Grizzlies win the draw as Shearer throws to the far side for the captain, Connor McDonald, who backhands it out of the zone out to center ice. As the Americans skating from left to right as we see it on Flow Sports, your mind's eye see it on YouTube. As the Americans skate down the middle, still in their own zone, as Mallory will drift it over to the far side. Now the Americans get it back in their own zone. They get to Liam Finley, but it's picked off by Utah, but they couldn't handle it. As why they were trying to handle it, and it looks like a whistle blows. And the Grizzlies played it with a high stick as the Grizzlies tried to intercept it. It lifted in the air, and the Grizzlies batted it down. So the whistle blows with 13:28 left in the second. 1:37 left in the power play. Oh, looks like Allen's going to get a penalty. Looks like high sticking's the call, and Liam Finley goes to the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. He joins Hank Crone. Crone got the misconduct. He's still in there, and Finley's in there. And for some reason, I thought that Finley was the one that got the misconduct, but Finley and Crone are in the penalty box right now, and we'll skate 4-on-4 for 1:37, and then after that, abbreviated power play for the Grizzlies. Utah needs to find a way to capitalize here with some open ice.
Yeah, open ice might benefit the Grizzlies. Taryn Pfizer was able to capitalize on a 4-on-4 earlier on in this series. See what they can do.
Utah's got 5 goals in a 4-on-4 situation. They've given up 4. Grizzlies win the draw. McDonald left point shot saved by Perry. As now it goes to Cameron Wright, who skates towards the near side. Now towards his right. He'll take a righty shot. Saved by Perry. Wright will drift it up top for McDonald. Connor skates towards his left. Now he'll fire it towards the net, and it's blocked by number 20, Eric Williams. Williams, I believe, wore number 20 for the Grizzlies back in the 2019-2020 season, where he was an impressive player, had a +19 rating for Tim Branham's crew. This goes towards the near side. Wright gets it as Wright skates towards the middle. Now gets poked away as Massacott will drift over to Eric Williams, who moves ahead to McCauley. Puck still deep in the Allen zone. Now left wing pass to Massacott. Across to Williams, who crosses center. Williams gains the line, skates towards the right side. Looks to center it out in front. Pass connects. Shot goes wide as the puck bounced off of McDonald's stick, and Allen's shot went wide as they're in front of the net. Grizzlies towards center ice. Taryn Pfizer crossed the red line. Now he crossed the blue as he skates towards his left. As Pfizer, as we're skating 4-on-4 for the next 30 seconds, we'll roll it around. Shearer couldn't handle it. Eric Williams behind his net. The 4th-year pro out of Northeastern will throw up behind the net. Sosserman battles with Pfizer. Pfizer gets around Sosserman. He's now to the far side. He stops in the corner. Now Pfizer skates towards the circle. Take a righty shot. Saved by Perry. And he holds on. Eric Williams nudged a Grizzly in the back. And now looks like Kobe McCauley's trying to drag a Grizzly, and it was Tyler Penner, as Penner was just trying to get a rebound out in front. And no penalties either way, as Penner trying to do the dirty work for the Grizzlies. And that's impressive considering a guy like Tyler Penner, who does the dirty work, has been able to stay healthy as he has been. Knock on wood, as he's playing in his, 150th consecutive game. If you include last season's playoffs, he's been outstanding. And Penner's going to take the face-off for the Grizzlies. We got 16 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Pfizer's out there along with Bryson Martin and Aaron Tho. As Allen wins the draw, Mallory gets hit by Penner. As 2-on-2 battle in the corner, Pfizer gets the puck. He'll skate around Allen's net. He'll chip it to the left side. Aaron Tho will skate towards his right in the high slot. He's got the blue line next to him, as Tho will back it out to the corner as it rolls around the wall behind the net. Grizzlies skate towards the near corner as Penner looked to center it, poked away as he was trying to get McCallchuck, who's fresh out of the box. Now Allen's shorthanded as 12 seconds left. Left wing shot saved by Preek as Bryson Martin towards the near side. Puck still in the Grizzlies zone as looks like Liam Finley's coming out of the penalty box right now. We're back to skating 5-on-5. 11:25 left in the second. Nice spin move by Pfizer near the Utah blue line. Gets around an Allen skater, crosses center ice, and dumps it in. As Perry plays behind his net, he'll throw it towards the near boards. As it goes back to the Americans who cross center ice. Grant Hebert, right wing crosses center. Now he gets into the zone. Over towards Brown. He'll take a right wing shot. And it's blocked off the stick of Dylan Fitz and flies off the protective netting. 11 minutes, 10 seconds left in the second. Allen still leads 5-2, so neither team has scored in the second period. And unfortunately, from the Grizzlies' perspective, that does benefit the Allen Americans.
Yeah, it does, Tyson. I just keep thinking back to that power play chance, a missed opportunity for the Grizzlies, but I like the way the penalty kill has performed in this game. Grizzlies just need some sort of momentum spring to get them back in this one.
Drop won by the Americans are in the attack zone as Mikel Robideau to the right side will chip it around the wall as Justin Young lets it go past him as he'll feed it up top. Americans left point, lefty shot. It goes wide. Now rebound off the boards. Right wing shot saved by Preek. Robideau throws it back up top for Dalton Galley. He winds and fires. Lefty shot goes wide. Got redirected by a body out in front. Aiden Brown, number 25, throws it to the left circle. And it's picked off by Semick. Semick will move it ahead to Dylan Fitz, who crosses center ice near side and rolls it around the boards. It looked like Fitz didn't get to center ice, though, according to the linesman, as icing is called on the Grizzlies with 10:35 left in the second. So the draw comes back towards Lucas Preek, was the backup to start the game. Trent Miner stopped 4 of 7 and was pulled, and Lucas Preek has allowed 2 goals on a handful of shots. So draw comes back towards Preek. 10:35 left in the second. I got to say, though, I've been impressed with Jacob Simic. I'm really looking forward to the next homestand to see what he's able to do in person because he looks like he moves around pretty well and makes good decisions with the puck.
Yeah, I'm impressed with the way that he's played. It really seems like he's found a groove early on with this Grizzlies team after being acquired and signed. I like what I've seen so far from him.
Looks like the referee admitted a mistake, and the draw's going to be at center ice instead of it being in the Grizzly zone after Utah's call for icing. As draw won by the Grizzlies. Bryson Martin crosses center ice. He gets back checked by Finley, but Martin gets the puck and he'll drift it off the end boards. As it goes back to Massacado. Will throw it to the near side, back to the left point of Allen's zone. Grizzlies take it away. As Semic will roll it back to the right corner. Eric Williams skates over there. He gets the puck and he'll chip it ahead. As the puck goes into the Grizzly zone, and this time Allen is called for icing with 10:09 left in the second. Make sure when you come to the Grizzlies game this week against the Cincinnati Cyclones to go to the Grizzlies team store. Get hats, T-shirts, souvenirs, get jersey hoodies, get jerseys. You can get all sorts of good stuff. You can even get a dog collar. If you go to the Grizzlies game, you can get one of those collars you can put on your dog and all sorts of good stuff at the Grizzlies team store. You can get souvenir pucks. I got to go get a souvenir puck. Get one of those with the ECHL logo on one side and the Grizzlies logo on the other. Go to the Grizzlies team store for the Grizzlies home games against Cincinnati. Next time you're at Maverick Center. As the puck deep in the Allen zone, as it goes back Cameron right in the area. Over there with Jack Combs. Now it goes to Allen as Eric Williams will skate down the middle. Right wing pass to Liam Finley at center ice. Finley tried to gain the line, but Allen is offside by about 2 strides. 9:50 left in the second period. There's a timeout on the ice. It's the Americans 5 and the Grizzlies 2. We're back in 1 minute on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
It's the Americans 5 and the Grizzlies 2 as Utah tries to climb back in this one. It's the final game of a 3-game series. Utah's been pretty good on Sundays this year, as on the Lord's Day, Utah is 6-1 this season. Grizzlies have also been successful in the month of March, as they are also 6-1 in the month, and Utah's got a standing point in 12 of their last 15 games. And I think a big reason and really a big difference for the Grizzlies over the last 15 games is the number of shots they're taking. In the last 15 games, the Grizzlies averaged 39.06 shots per game. As we're back to live action, Allen gets it as Justin Young skates into the zone, right side. He'll tap it off the end boards deep in the Grizzlies zone. Rinker red, it says, over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center as the Americans towards the right side chips out in front. But Abear couldn't handle it. As it goes back to Utah as Taron Pfizer crosses center ice. Pfizer's got a goal in 4 straight games. He'll dump it to the left corner for Fitz. Secco skates over there. He gets pinned to the boards by Kobe McCauley. As 2-on-2 battle along the wall. As Secos tries to skate towards his right. Puck squirts out in front of the net, and Allen will throw it back to the near side. As the Americans will cross center ice. Abear dumps it in. As Justin Young tries to get around Aaron Tho. Both guys wear number 28. Young hits Tho. Rolls over to McCauley. It glanced off his stick. Rolls towards the end near wall. As Sossaman across to Mallory, who spins it along the wall as it rolls to the right corner. Abear gets it. He'll chip it up top, and it exits his zone as Chris Mallory back at center ice gets it. Less than 9 minutes left in the second period. Allen leads 5-2. As Sossaman off the near boards will pitch it out to center ice. As 2-on-2 battle, Aiden Brown and Michalchuk, both guys wearing number 25. Now right point, lefty shot goes wide. As puck glides along the wall, Michalchuk will feed it around, and Stephon Fournier, number 44, will throw it back to the near side. I think Bernard wore number 44 for Allen earlier in the season. I'm getting them mixed up. As Allen chips out to center ice, picked off by Utah. As the Grizz, Keaton Jamison will tap it off the far boards. Mallory moves it back to center ice, and it goes deep into the Grizzly zone. Precast to play it as it rolls towards the crease, and he'll clear it out to center ice. Grizzlies get it. As Jamison skates towards the right circle, now around Allen's net. I try to kick it out in front. Allen feeds it back to the high slot. Sheer over to the right side for McDonald to take a righty shot. Saved by Perry. Rebound goes towards the end boards as Sossaman will wing it around the wall as goes back over to Allen. Aiden Brown crosses center ice, or does he? Icing's going to be called as Brown didn't get to center ice as McDonald and Robideau chased after it. Draw looks like it's going to be at center ice, though. 7:51 left in the second. We were talking about the shots, though. Utah has averaged 39.06 shots per game over their last 15 contests. Now, prior to that was on February 11th. Prior to that, the Grizzlies had averaged 28.43 shots. So over the last 15 games, the Grizzlies have averaged 11 more shots per game than they did in the first half of the season prior to February 11th. That's part of why the Grizzlies have a standing point in 12 of their last 15 games. Grizzlies enter the attack zone as Bryce Martin to the right side gets it across, goes past Simeone. Cameron Wright throws it back behind the net as now Allen, Jack Combs will feed it towards the slot, hacking away Simeone, and Gagnon had to get in front of Simeone so he couldn't take a shot. As Allen will drift it out to center ice, the Americans get it. As Allen will chip it over to the right corner, and Gagnon chases after it. So is Liam Finley. As the puck rolls towards the right point, Gagnon gets it. They'll feed it back to the right circle. As Finley makes a move on Pouncey, and he'll throw it to the left corner. Grizzlies get it and clear it out. As Utah up ahead, pass to the right side. Shot! Saved by Perry. Boy, the Grizzlies threw a long-range pass, and it connected to Cameron Wright, who had a great look as he skated towards the right circle, but Chase Perry robs him with 7:01 left in the second. Boy, that could have been Utah's best chance there so far in the second period.
Yeah, Tyson, I agree. That was a great chance there for Cameron Wright. Unfortunately for the Grizzlies, Perry was up to the task to make that save. Really nice save there by Chase Perry. Grizzlies still looking for that next one.
Perry in all black pads to go along with a navy blue jersey with red on the shoulders, white numbers, and white letters in the back. Hebert will take the draw against Zach Sekos. Sekos 11 goals, 10 assists this season. Sekos takes a lot of the big face-offs of the Grizzlies. He's got a point in 15 of his 26 games this season. Hebert crouches down. Hebert 7 goals and 12 assists in 25 games. Allen wins the draw. There's action in the Allen zone. The Americans skating from left to right in the second period. Grizzlies from right to left. As Eric Williams will move it ahead. Pfizer cuts it off at the blue line. Now to Sekos in the right point. He'll chip it across. Airborne. It bounces off the boards. Jacob Semick fires towards net. It gets redirected by a stick. Now Semick gets it back left side. Takes a shot and it's blocked. As Allen falls down on their own. Sekos in the area. Massicott gets back to his feet. And he'll throw it out to center ice. Grizzlies will tap it back in. As now Allen in their own zone with the puck. Dances around. 6.5 minutes left in the second period. It's still 5-2 Americans. Nobody has scored here so far in the second period after a wild first. As Allen will skate in from the right side onside. Hank Crum back out after serving his 10-minute misconduct over to Massicott. High slot. Lefty shot. Saved by Preek. Now goes back to Taryn Pfizer, who gains center ice. And he'll cross the blue line and dump it in at the end of Utah's shift. Massicott clears it out to center again. It looks like it's going to be icing on the Americans as he was trying to get Mikhail Robideau at neutral ice. And even 6 minutes are left in the second period. Allen leads 5-2. And with as crazy as the first period was, I think the Grizzlies, to get back in the game, is hoping for just about an equally crazy second period. But it looks like things have calmed down.
Yeah, things have certainly calmed down here, Tyson. You think about a combined 7 goals in the first period, and now through the first 14 in the second period, we're scoreless. Go figure. And unfortunately, I think that being scoreless throughout this period benefits Allen as they are up by 3 here.
Yeah, Friday's game was a defensive battle. You know, Allen outshot Utah 41-32, but that was certainly a big-time defensive effort. Both teams were great defensively, and both teams were outstanding in net.
Yeah, and I think for the Grizzlies, if they want to come back and win this game, it starts with Lucas Parikh. They have to hold Allen at 5 here for the remainder of the game.
6 minutes are left in the second period. Draws give me in the far circle. Sekos and the Grizzlies win it. Semick across to Shearer. Will take a left wing shot. Saved by Perry as Mikalchuk gets the rebound. Now it goes to Jared Powers. Still looking for his first pro goal. Power, who's had one home stand for the Grizzlies, over to Shearer. Right side. Lefty shot goes wide. Power in the corner gets it poked away by Massicott. Now Shearer gets hit. He gets held up. Power skates towards the left circle. Take a lefty shot. And that one goes wide as Allen's Hank Crone at neutral ice will cross center. He gets it taken away as Utah moves it past Power. It bounced off of him and over skating against Keaton Jamison. Left side, Eric Williams, who scored a goal on Thursday in his first shot in an Americans uniform. Grizzlies get it across as now they cross center ice. Power on the near side dumps it in from neutral ice. Mallory pokes it back to center as Grizzlies make a line change. Utah dumps it back in. Now Mikalchuk comes out 5:07 and counting left in the second. Allen leads 5-2. It's Colton Saucerman, who's got a goal this afternoon. They'll throw it to the near side for Justin Young. He'll feed it across. It goes past everybody. And looked like icing's going to be called on the Americans there. Everybody stopped skating with 4:56 left in the second. As the draw is going to come back towards Chase Perry. And for the Grizzlies, you want to get some momentum heading into the locker room to see if you can make it a game in the third period.
Hey, Tyson, you can talk about momentum. The Grizzlies, of course, had that 5-on-3 power play to start the period, but throughout the course of this second period here, I don't really see, I haven't really seen a momentum push by the Grizzlies. I'd like to see that from them here.
Grizzlies win the draw as McDonald over to Cameron Wright on the right side, fires towards the net, saved by Perry. Rebound shot, and it goes wide as Tho was looking for a second look. Tho to the right side, gets it up top for Penner. He'll take a righty shot, and it goes wide from the high slot as it bounced off the end boards. Mallory throws to the right side for Penner. Penner up top for Tho. Tho to the right side, dances around, gets it across to Simeone, but it bounced off the stick, rolls to Penner in the high slot. Penner drifts over to the near corner as Cameron Wright battles with Saucerman. Saucerman over towards Penner. Penner trying to get it back to Wright out in front. Penner keeps the puck. Now he tried to throw it to Simeone, and Allen picks it off. Americans, Robidoux gets out to center ice looking for Young. He couldn't reach it. Grizzlies moving out to center ice. Now Utah to the left. Cameron Wright skates towards a circle. Good defensive play by Chris Mallory, cutting off Cameron Wright and taking the puck away. Pass ahead. Allen skates over. Novak. High feeds it to the left side. Shot goes wide. Well, Combs is looking for it. And great pass by Novak, but Combs couldn't deliver from the left side. Now it's at neutral ice. Grizzlies skate back into the offensive zone. Over to Cameron Wright. He'll skate towards his right. Mallory once again with a good defensive play, poking it away. But we get a whistle with 3:50 left in the second. Something happened away from the screen, we believe. And I don't know if the net got dislodged or if there was a penalty, but everybody stopped at kind of an awkward moment. 3:50 left in the second period. And we got a timeout on the ice. Allen leads Utah 5-2 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. Liam Finley is in the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. 3:50 left in the second period. Allen leads Utah 5-2. Have you or someone you know been charged with a DUI? Rogers and Russell is Utah's DUI defense firm. Consequences for driving under the influence in Utah are serious, and you need great attorneys on your first line. Look for a letter in the mail from Rogers and Russell inviting you to schedule a free consultation. Don't throw away or disregard this letter. Call and get Utah's #1 DUI defense team. Rogers and Russell. Both teams have one power play goal here so far tonight. Grizzlies looking for a second. As Zach Sekos will take the draw. He's got Keaton Jamison to his right, Cameron Wright to his left. Up top, we believe, is Pfizer and Jacob Semick. As the draw won by the Grizzlies, Jamison over to Pfizer. Left side, he'll throw it to the near goal line. Now back up top for Pfizer. Over to Semick on the right side. Semick dances around the right side over to Pfizer. One-timer, and it's blocked. As it rolls out in front, about 10 feet in front of the net. Sekos to the left side. Cameron Wright got held up. He couldn't do anything with the puck as Sekos gets it. Now up top to Semick. Back to Sekos. He skates towards the left circle. He feeds it out in front to Jamison. One-timer goes wide as it bounced off the boards. Now Semick gets it in the high slot. Over to Sekos. He skates towards the left circle. Take a lefty shot. And it goes wide. Might have gotten a piece of an Allen player. Sekos now across to Pfizer. Right side shot. And it goes wide as the puck glides off the near boards and out to center ice. Allen makes a line changes. Action deep in the Grizzlies zone. Jacob Semick gets it. Semick makes a nice move at center ice, but loses the puck as it goes back in the Grizzlies zone. Now Sekos at center ice, left wing, feeds it across and rolls back to a Grizzly. As Cameron Wright back in his own end. We'll throw it across. Looks like the Grizzlies making a line change of some kind as Pfizer skates down the middle. He crosses center ice. Now Pfizer gains the offensive line, stops on the right side, blows a tire. Allen moves it ahead as The Americans, Mascot gets around a skater. 2-on-2. Mascot skates towards his right. Now he's in the right circle. Backhand shot. Saved by Parikh, and Lucas holds on. Well, a good opportunity there for Allen shorthanded. One of their guys who doesn't normally handle it in the offensive zone that deep, and Zachary Mascot took a backhand shot. And Parikh made the save and didn't allow a rebound with 2:29 left in the second.
Dangerous chance for Allen there, but Lucas Parikh made an excellent save to shut the door.
Draws going to be in the left circle. Grant Hebert will take it. Utah's on the power play for the next 39 seconds. As Penner will take the draw, and it's won by Utah's Bryson Martin behind his net. James Schur is out there as well as Martin with the puck. Will feed it ahead to Jared Power across the center ice. Right wing pass. Grizzlies get the line as Fitz right wing rolls it along the wall. As James Schur over there with Penner. Now goes back to Fitz in the near side. Fitz surveys. Now he gets up top for Schur. Schur back to Fitz. Fitz glides towards the left circle now. Gives it back up top for Schur. He'll feed it to the right side. Now the Grizzlies right circle. Martin back to Power. Power, the Mount Royal University product. Throws it up top. It bounced off a Hebert's stick and flies to neutral ice. Schur will back it out into his own zone. He'll feed it off the near wall at neutral ice. As Fitz backhand pass to the right side as they're back to 5-on-5 skating. Power loses it. As it goes back over to Fitz. Right side shot. Saved by Perry. He bobbled it for a second, but holds on with 1:40 left in the second. Good opportunity by Fitz there, but it's still a 5-2 game.
Few good looks there for the Grizzlies on that power play, Tyson. I like that they were trying to focus more on taking shots. Power play looked a lot better that time around as opposed to what we saw earlier on in the second period.
Draws game in the Grizzlies zone. It's still 5-2. Nobody has scored here so far in the second period. Colton Hargrove had 2 goals in the first period. Cameron Wright, 1 goal and 1 assist for Utah. Zach Sekos will take the draw. He's got Wright out there, and Pfizer up top is Tho, and somebody off the screen. Easy to guess. It's probably Semick, maybe Semick, and we don't know. Somebody's hanging out the right point for the Grizzlies. Utah wins the draw. They throw it to Connor McDonald, who's paired up with Aaron Tho. Now Wright throws it back to the right side for Sekos, who will skate towards the point. We're skating 5-on-5. Sekos loses the puck. It goes back to neutral ice. I don't know about the ice conditions, but it looks like it's tough to handle the puck here today. Tho dumps it back in, but he dumped it in from Grizzlies territory, so icing is on the Grizzlies. With 1:23 left in the second, draw is going to come back towards Lucas Parikh. It looks like guys are having a tough time handling the puck out there for some reason.
Yeah, it does seem like the puck is kind of hopping around, not really settling down on guys' sticks. Something to watch out for throughout the course of this game.
They had an indoor soccer game over in Allen in that arena last night, and that's why the Grizzlies didn't play. As a draw won by the Grizzlies. I enjoyed the Saturday off, though, as Tho throws it to the near side. Grizzlies lift it in the air, back to the right point. Finley tried to bat it out at center ice, as it goes over to Jack Combs. He gets it back over towards Finley. We'll make that Novak. He backs it around to the left side from one corner to the other as Pfizer over to Sekos. Dangerous hit as Allen towards the right side, back in the corner. No call was made. Hopefully a Grizzly got up there. And he did, luckily, but that looked like it could have been boarding. Grizzlies back in the far side across to Sekos. He's at neutral ice. Rink-wide pass doesn't connect. Wright skates over there. Malaria as well. Wright gets the puck in the corner. Cameron Wright chips it out in front to Sekos. Shot. Saved by Perry. Boy, the centering pass connected out in front as Wright tried to glide it towards Sekos. Sekos got there. Had a great A opportunity, but Chase Perry makes the save. Good look there by Sekos from Cameron Wright.
Yeah, and I like the momentum that the Grizzlies seem to be building here towards the end of the second period. They seem like they're inching closer to getting that next goal in this game.
That looked like a dangerous hit there. Luckily, the Grizzly got back on something that could have been called boarding.
Yeah, and coincidentally, that was the same spot that Dakota Raby took that hit earlier from Colton Hargrove.
About the same spot on the ice as Jamison will take the draw. 41.6 seconds left in the second period. Amazing, after we saw 7 goals combined in the first period, we don't have a single one here so far in the second. As the draws, the camera just eases back. It's won by the Grizzlies. As Tyler Penner over there, have to have fun in these remote broadcasts or you're going to drive yourself crazy. Jamison on the right side will throw it back to the corner that Fitz vacated. As it goes back over, Hank Crone in the area, surveys. As Fitz gets the puck, left wing, shot, saved by Perry. Rebound goes out to Allen as Dalton Galley rolls it along the wall as the Americans will spread the ice. 16 seconds left in the period. Across to Crone. It bounced off of him. Martin moves it ahead. Grizzlies chase after it as Utah gets it in the corner. As Jamison gets hit by Gagnon. Gagnon goes down. Penner delivers a hit as Martin in the right side goes down. 4 seconds left in the period. He's on 2 knees as Crone throws it off a Grizzly and time runs out of the second period. Nobody scored in the second after Allen scored 5 goals in the first period. The Grizzlies answered with 2. Missed opportunity for the Grizzlies, who had a major power play for the first 4 minutes and 22 seconds of the second period. So both teams will head to their respective dressing rooms. The Grizzlies have a 3-goal deficit. They've done it before, coming back from 3 behind. Can they do it again? 12th and final regular season meeting between these clubs. Utah's 4-7 against the Americans, but they're 3-2 at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. When we come back, we'll recap the first 2 periods of play, and we'll also go over some scores from around the world of sports. After 2 periods, it's the Americans 5 and the Grizzlies 2. This is Utah Grizzlies hockey, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Well, welcome to the Rio Tinto Kennecott intermission report. It was 5-2 Allen after 20 minutes of play, and quite a shocker to me is it's still 5-2 Allen after 40 minutes of play. Offensive explosion in the first, a quiet second. Go figure. I'm Guy Chiarenza alongside Tyson Whiting. It's been a fun afternoon here. We're chilling in the Maverick Center lobby / our studio. The Grizzlies are over in Allen taking on the Americans, and it did not take long for Allen to get on the board. Just 41 seconds in, Colton Saucerman gets his 5th goal of the year, and that was assisted by Colton Hargrove and Colby McCauley. Allen made it 2-0, 6:27 into the first. Colton Hargrove gets his 34th of the year, assisted by Saucerman and Combs. That came on the power play in a 5-on-3 situation. 9:22 into the first period, Liam Finley on a breakaway got his 30th of the year, and that made it a 3-0 game. That was assisted by Jack Combs. And then after that, Coach Kanastowicz said he was going to pull Trent Miner, and we saw Lucas Parikh. Parikh has been in net for the remainder of this game. Although I don't believe that any of those goals were necessarily Trent Miner's fault. It just seems that Allen had the jump from the drop of the puck. Well, when it rains, it pours. 10:36 into the first period. Colton Hargrove, once again, getting on the board, getting his 35th of the year. Ryan Gagnon and Hank Crone got assists on that goal. But Utah shows signs of life. 12:08 into the first. Cameron Wright got his 21st of the year on the power play that's unassisted. And that made it a 4-1 game. Colby McCauley got on the board for Allen once again. 17:15 into the first. Allen made it a 5-1 lead. That was assisted by Hank Crone and Colton Hargrove. That was the last we'll see of Colton Hargrove, as just 24 seconds after that Allen goal, Utah made it 5-2 off of a goal from James Shearer, his 5th of the season, assisted by Dakota Raby and Cameron Wright. And I mentioned that was the last we see of Colton Hargrove, as he did end up hitting Dakota Arabian what seemed like a hit to the head, and the referee seemed to agree. He got a match penalty, 5-minute major for a legal check to the head. And so that was the last we saw of Colton Hargrove in this game. And as I mentioned before, in the second period, of course, there was no scoring after we saw a combined 7 goals in the first. Utah's 1 for 5 on the power play. They were not able to capitalize on the 5-on-3 situation that saw Hank Crone in the box, added on to the 5-minute major to Colton Hargrove. Utah wasn't able to capitalize. Their power play is 1 for 5. Allen, 1 for 3 on the power play. So each team has a power play goal in this game. In the second period, Utah once again outshot Allen. This time 13-7. They outshot them 12-10 in the first. And so the shot count is 25-17 in favor of the Grizzlies after 40 minutes of play. You mentioned Trent Miner started this game. He stopped 4 of 7. He was pulled in favor of Lucas Parikh. Parikh has stopped 8 of 10. So Tyson, for the Grizzlies, quiet second period. It has to have had to benefited Allen, as the Grizzlies did not get on the board. They weren't able to capitalize on the power play, but the Grizzlies seem to have built a little bit of momentum heading into the locker room here.
Yeah, quiet second period is not what the Grizzlies wanted. They wanted to do something there, and in particular on that major power play, but well, it seemed like they only got a couple good looks on that major power play. I think it was a little bit disappointing. The Grizzlies did work the puck around. Now, Dakota Arabian probably would have been on that 5-man unit on the power play had he been on the ice. And so Utah's down to 9 forwards as they're playing a man short today anyway with Cam Strong out of the lineup. And, you know, both teams have a power play goal. And really for the Grizzlies, you look at the shot count, well, they've won that 25-17. I know I kind of mumbled through a little bit there in the middle of the second period about how the Grizzlies over the last 15 games, and I kind of look at that being a turning point to the season. Over the last 15 games, the Grizzlies are averaging about 11 more shots than they did before February 11th. You know, the last 15 games are averaging 39 shots. Before that, averaging just 28.5. So Grizzlies really getting their looks. They had 51 shots on Thursday night. You know, they've already got 25 through 2 periods. I think you have to like the quality of some of those shots. I think Chase Perry's played a good game for Allen and net. Unfortunately for the Grizzlies, though, down by 3. You know that Allen is going to try to kind of, pinch everything back, play it down the middle, and really make the Grizzlies work for everything offensively. And for the Grizzlies, you may not get more than 3 or 4 really good looks in the third period. When you get that good look, you're going to have to capitalize on it down 3.
Couldn't agree more, Tyson. The Allen Americans are not going to hand this game over to the Grizzlies. They have a 3-goal lead, and they're going to try and protect that as best they can. You mentioned Colton Hargrove's not going to finish this game, and so you got to think the offensive output from Allen is going to drop a little bit. If the Grizzlies can keep them at 5, that would certainly benefit them for the rest of this game, but the Grizzlies need to find a way to continue producing offensively. And you mentioned the uptick in shots from the Grizzlies ever since that Rapid City series. And really, the offense has really been clicking ever since then. So the added 11 shots per game certainly has done wonders for the Grizzlies offense.
Colton Hargrove had a game, though. 2 goals, 2 assists. He was a +3, had 3 shots. He also got a match penalty for an illegal check to the head. He did everything. Colton Saucerman, Kobe McCauley with 1 goal and 1 assist each. Hank Crone with 2 assists. You know, for the Grizzlies, you know, it hasn't been for lack of effort, and in particular with Cameron Wright. He's already got 8 shots for the Grizzlies. You know, Cameron Wright, who leads the club and leads all league rookies in shots with 216. He's already got 8 shots here so far this afternoon. He's certainly been a force. Dylan Fitz has 5 shots. I noticed in particular in the second period being very active on both the left and right circles, making things happen. James Shearer's got 3 shots, including 1 goal. Taryn Pfizer with 3 shots. Pfizer's got a 4-game goal-scoring streak on the line in the third period. But for Utah, you know, whether you win this game or not, you want to find a way to just keep chipping away and see if you can find a way to play good hockey to end the series. And it doesn't get any easier. Grizzlies will be at Mavericks Center this week, but they're taking on a very, very tough Cincinnati Cyclones team. Cincinnati has, a streak in their last 17 games where the record is 15-0-1-1. They've got a standing point in at least 17 straight games. I mean, Cincinnati has a 725 point percentage. How about their road record? Cincinnati on the road this season. That's the Grizzlies' opponent this upcoming Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday at Mavericks Center. Their road record is 25-3-1. It's going to be a tough task for the Grizzlies this week, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And I know a lot of fans like to see new teams come to Mavericks Center. Former Grizzly Luka Burzan's on their roster. Former Grizzly Matt Berry also plays for Cincinnati. And you never know if over the course of the next 3 days or sometime next week, if Wilkes-Barre Scranton releases defenseman Andrew Nelson. Well, the Cincinnati Cyclones now have his right. Should be an interesting series.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Daunting task in the Cincinnati Cyclones are really a team that's had a fantastic year. But for the Grizzlies, they've also come on as of late. You mentioned the Grizzlies' record in March, 6-1 as of now. It seems to be the March of the Grizzlies. They're playing really good. And so this may just end up being an outlier here. And hey, who knows? The Grizzlies may come back. But the Cincinnati Cyclones ride into town, and they also have a tough task in defeating the Utah Grizzlies. So should be a lot of fun. And the Grizzlies are certainly going to need your help. And we want to see you at the Maverick Center. That's right. We want you, a member of Grizzmania, a Grizzmaniac here at Maverick Center, because the Grizzlies are going to need all the help they can get.
The March of the Grizzlies. We need a sign out there next to that American flag behind us. March of the Grizzlies. I'm not a very artistic person. We need to find one of those signs. And Grizzmania. We need to come up with a really good logo for Grizzmania, because I think that's going to stick. Grizzmania, Grizzmaniacs. We're having a good time here. And, Grizzmania, you talked about the last half of the season. You talked about the last 15 games in particular, where the Grizzlies have a standing point in 12 of them. Grizzmania is alive and well, and hopefully it will be alive and well as attendance is up at Maverick Center this year, and we got a fun weekend of hockey in store. Wednesday will be a Bud Light College night with discounted student tickets. Friday night, though, military night and AFCU Friday. Should be a great crowd. And then remember, the Grizzlies are going to be off on Saturday, and then Sunday will be a 3:10 start. Make sure you get your tickets for all 3 games at UtahGrizzlies.com for the upcoming series. If you can only pick one game, I'd recommend Friday. Military night, the Grizzlies are wearing specialty jerseys, and it's an AFCU Friday, so you can get it in an affordable price. Can't beat that. Can't beat that offer with AFCU Fridays. You can't beat coming out and being part of Grizzmania here at Maverick Center. It's the March of the Grizz.
Tyson, I don't think there's a better show in town. Really, Grizzlies hockey is the finest product that this town has to offer. And the Maverick Center, what an atmosphere. I mean, we earlier on in the season, we talked about how the Grizzlies have played so many road games, and now they're finally coming back to Maverick Center. And it just so happens the Grizzlies' record ever since they come back to the Maverick Center has been pretty darn good. I think that's because of the atmosphere that the Grizzmaniacs have created. Grizzmania is in full force, and you need to come see it for yourself.
We talk about Mania. We talked about Manic Mondays last season when Mason Manic was here. Now, the Grizzlies have his rights. Now, Mason Manic is going to school. He hasn't played hockey this year. We're not sure how many potato chips he's had and what kind of shape he's in. It's up to Mason Manic. If he wants to play hockey, there's a spot for him. He's a Harriman native. He might be living locally right now, going to school. We're not really sure about that. I mean, obviously, when you see the trade, the transaction, the Grizzlies get Mason Manic's rights. Well, all they do is have his rights. It doesn't mean he's necessarily going to play. It's up to Mason as to whether he's going to play or not. But, if he wants to play hockey, the Grizzlies have his rights again.
I'd certainly love to see Mason Manic play. Unfortunately, me and him have a lot in common right now. We're both from Harriman, Utah. We're both going to school. We're both not playing hockey right now. So, got a lot in common. But I certainly would love to see Mason back in the Grizzlies lineup. It was certainly fun to watch him last year.
He might have a little bit more speed than you. I don't know. It's
might. We'll never know.
Well, I've never seen you run, and I've never seen you skate. You could be like the fastest guy on the ice out there.
I could be. Maybe I should get a PTO with the Grizzlies. Who knows? We'll see.
We'll have ice out there this week. If you want to put on some skates, we can try it out.
We'll have to see.
Make sure to wear a helmet, though.
That's right. Safety first.
Neither team scored in the second period, and the Grizzlies need a big comeback attempt in the third. We'll skate 5-on-5 to start the third period. We'll have third period action when we come back in 2 minutes, as once again the score after 40 minutes of play. It's the Allen Americans 5 and the Utah Grizzlies 2. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. and I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Welcome back to Utah Grizzlies hockey. Third period action will start in 3 minutes from now. Other action in the league. Late second period, South Carolina leads Jacksonville 3-2. Atlanta leads Reading 3-1 that game with 12 and a half minutes left in the third period. Early third period, Worcester leads Maine 3-1. Halfway through the third, Iowa is shut out Kalamazoo 2-0. And the Grizzlies' opponent later this week, the Cincinnati Cyclones, they host Fort Wayne, and that game is tied at 1 through 40 minutes of play. Former Grizzlies Matt Berry and Luka Burzan are each in the Cincinnati lineup, although it's a home game for Cincinnati, and I'm a little bit surprised to see them only rolling with 15 skaters. So it looks like Cincinnati might be a little bit shorthanded, and we'll see if that's going to be the case when the Grizzlies face them later this week, this upcoming Wednesday and Friday at 7 o'clock and Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. But we got a third period over in Allen. Now, both teams had yesterday off, and so both teams should be as fresh as they can be in a 3-game and 4-day set. And Guy, you think about the success Tyson Pfizer has had against Allen this year, 8 goals in 11 games against the Americans. I think if the Grizzlies are going to come back in the third period, Tyson Pfizer is going to be part of it, as well as Cameron Wright, who's already got 8 shots and 1 goal and 1 assist for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, and Cameron Wright has really already left his mark on this game. You mentioned the amount of shots that he's taken. He's already got a goal in this game. Tyson Pfizer, to me, has been a little bit quiet in this game, and a lot of Grizzlies have, understandably so, given the score, but I really like to see a lot more from him in this third period, and I think he is going to have a big third period, as you've got Wright, who's the leading scorer on the team, but you also got Tyson Pfizer, who's having an absolute stellar season.
Dakota Raby had an assist in the first period. Now, it was said that he had to be helped off the ice, and that's all we really know. We do know that we've seen other instances where guys got hurt on the road, and there was rumors, and the rumors turned out to not be true. So outside of the fact that somebody saw him get helped off the ice, that's about all we're going to go with, because we've seen other rumors that, quite frankly, turned out to be false. And we certainly don't want to do anything be fake news out here at Maverick Center, as we're just trying to watch a hockey game and have some fun and try to describe what we see. As Chris Mallory's on the ice, he's had a good one so far for Allen. Looks like a pretty good crowd. In fact, it's a better crowd than they had on Thursday night, and it's not quite what they had on Friday, where they had about 4,600. The announced attendance is 2,675, 2,675 over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. As we'll see if the Grizzlies can come back. Guy, is there any sort of point in the game where you say, okay, the Grizzlies need to do something first 5 minutes, first 4 minutes? What are you looking for in the third period as sort of a time frame as to how the Grizzlies can come back?
I think the first few minutes in this third period are going to be critical. I think the Grizzlies need to come out and establish a forecheck and really set the tone for the remainder of this third period. And if they aren't able to score by about the 10-minute mark, that's when I'd like to see a sense of urgency from the Grizzlies to really start pushing the narrative at that point. But they need to be right on it right out of the gate here.
20 minutes are put on the stadium scoreboard clock and the score bug, as Grizzlies will be skating from left to right as we see it on Flow Sports. Your mind's eye see it on YouTube. That's right, YouTube. We know what it's known for, but we'll try to paint a picture for you as Allen wins the draw. Colby McCauley at center ice skates down the middle. Now drop it off for Hebert on the left side. Hebert just outside the circle. Gets it poked away by Pfizer. Mallory in the high slot throws to Sosserman. Now across to Mallory. He's the left point. 20 seconds into the third period. As the Grizzlies poke it back towards McCauley. Pfizer in the area. Pfizer gets the puck. He'll throw it to center ice for Sekos. Back to Pfizer, who overskates it at center ice. Hebert drops out for McCauley. Back to Hebert over to Hank Crone. Left wing shot. Saved by Preek. Preek replaced Trent Miner 9 minutes into the first period. As Allen behind the net skates around Preek and goes to the near side as Allen carries it out to the left point. As Hank Crone, the league's leading scorer, throws to the right side. Allen with a lefty shot. Kick saved by Preek. Puck goes back to the high slot. Sossaman feeds it to the right side. Now Hebert, lefty shot. And that one goes wide. And after the whistle, Hank Crone pushes Aaron Tho. As both guys trying to win that real estate out in front of the net. I think the puck ended up out of play. 19:03 left in the third. As Allen leads 5-2 as both teams make a line change. If you're in the West Valley area, the Salt Lake City Stars look like they're going to get underway in G League action at Mavericks Center. As it's going to be a busy 5 days at Mavericks Center. Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, the Grizzlies will host Cincinnati. I think Thursday is going to be a Stars game at Mavericks Center, and Saturday is going to be WWE. As Grizzlies win the draw, Wright throws it out to center ice, but Allen will reset as they'll throw it back deep in their own zone. As Chase Perry gets over to Zachary Massicott, now across to Eric Williams. He'll outlet it to neutral ice. As crossing center is Yakov Novak in his pro debut. He'll skate towards the left circle, and he'll bounce it over to the right corner. As Grizzlies cross center, Simeone, right wing pass to Penner, who swings and misses. As Allen will clear it back to center. As Novak chases after he gets the puck. Novak looks like he's a good combination of size and speed. Now Combs the left side, gets it back to Novak. He'll take a shot and he scores. Save that puck, Tony Denzer, as Novak gets his first professional goal in his first professional game. The Northeastern product has made it a 6-2 contest. Tony Denzer, the equipment manager, has got some work after the game as Novak was just to the right side and Preek was down on his keister, and Novak just kind of slid it past the goal line. He looks like a pretty good combination of size and speed. 6'3", 215 pounds, moves around pretty well. So Yakov Novak gets his first professional goal. Easy for me to say.
Oh, it seems pretty complicated. I mean, it sounds more like a tennis name, Yakov Novak. But congratulations to him. He gets his first pro goal. And for the Grizzlies, the hole now becomes 4.
Well, he served one into the back of the net as puck's at neutral ice. Grizzlies skate to the high slot. McCallchuk, righty shot goes wide. McCallchuk skates to the corner and chases after it. He collides along the glass. Glass shakes a little bit as Aiden Brown will get it out to center ice, so it's regathered by the Grizzlies, who are skating from left to right. It's 6-2 Allen, as Yakov Novak got his first professional goal, and this is pro debut. As Grizzlies, Jacob Semick in his third pro game moves it ahead. Semick, as well as Jared Power, still looking for their first pro goals. As Dalton Galley gains center ice, left wing, and drives it in. As it bounced off the end wall on one hop of the ice. As big-time hit delivered by Allen. Another Grizzlies down. As that was a hit by Robidoux of all people. Over to the left circle, Allen. Luckily, the Grizzlies was able to get back to his feet. Aiden Brown, left wing shot is blocked. As the Grizzlies, they got hit was Jared Power. Now right wing shot, save, rebound shot, saved by Preek. And he holds on as Robidoux pushes Bryson Martin. Martin very upset at the hit that Robidoux laid on Jared Power on the right side. I got a feeling if the outcome of this game is not going to be in doubt, I got a feeling we could see some physical action here in the third period with these teams not beating each other the rest of the regular season.
Oh, Tyson, I think it's only a matter of time. I mean, this is the last time the Americans and the Grizzlies will meet for the entire season unless they find a way to meet in the playoffs. So you got to think if there's a score to settle, you're going to settle it now. And as for Jared Power, that was a tough hit that he took. He was looking like he skated off, he walked around, but it looked like he was wincing a little bit.
Luckily, he was able to get back to his feet as the draw is going to be over in the right circle. Allen leads Utah 6-2. As a draw won by the Grizzlies, as Taryn Pfizer will carry it out to neutral ice. Pfizer along the near boards, gains center ice, tried to dump it in. It bounced off of Malari. As there's Novak scoring his first pro goal. He looks like he's very happy. And now we got action in the Grizzlies zone. Novak looks on. Novak very... We got a fight as James Shearer fights an Allen player, and it looks like Colton Sossaman, the beard, he's got more hair on his face than he does his head. Sossaman and James Shearer got in a fight. The camera was very much focused on Yakov Novak in his pro debut. Novak looking on, going, this is my first pro hockey game, and I'm looking at my first pro hockey fight. Sossaman and James Shearer looked like they had to be separated by the linesman. Sossaman's going to have some words. Okay, here's a replay. We're going to see it for the first time. Shearer delivered a big hit in the right side, and Sossaman jumped Shearer. And then it looked like it was on after that. Shearer delivered a hit in the right point, and Sossaman didn't agree with it. And so Sossaman just kind of took his two arms and just bear hugged Shearer from behind. 17:03 left in the third. Allen leads 6-2. Looks like Sossaman gets 2 minutes in the box, and we'll see if Shearer gets any.
Well, I love that fight from James Shearer. He brings a lot of grit to his game. He's a great defenseman. I love watching him play. And I'm really glad that we got to see Yakov's reaction to that. Really insightful there. Really cool.
Yeah, they just showed Novak for 20 seconds. And meanwhile, on the other side of the ice, Shearer and Sossaman were tangled up. As Lucas Preek looking like he was getting some equipment. Shearer's in the box himself. Shearer yelling with Sossaman. That does look some more of a friendly conversation. It didn't look like Shearer was raising his voice. Although, can you really tell if somebody's raising their voice when you're looking at their back? It looked like kind of a friendlier conversation. Looks like the Grizzlies are going to get a power play out of this as they got 2 minutes on the board for Sossaman. Doesn't look like they have any for Shearer. As it looks like everybody's kind of looking around. Chad Costello, the Allen coach, is talking things over. I think the referees, Jake Jackson and Austin O'Rourke, I think they've got their eyes peeled that this could be an interesting third period. These teams are among league leaders in penalty minutes. We saw a couple games at Maverick Center where the penalty minutes just rose to an incredible level. I think the officials know that this thing could, with it being the last meeting between the clubs and with it being a 4-goal contest right now, I think they've got their eyes raised out here for the final 17 minutes in the third period. So much so that, when Allen was at Maverick Center in late February, Joe Ernst from the league was in attendance. And I think he was in attendance because he thought something might boil over. It was nice to see Joe Ernst, though, make the trip to Salt Lake. And who knows, maybe it will boil over here in the final 17 minutes.
I think it will, Tyson. I think just given the way that the score is right now, the history between these two teams from what we've seen before, I think, and this being the last game of the series, I think that we're going to see it at one point in time.
So it looks like the Grizzlies are on a 2-minute power play. As Colton Sossaman got an extra 2 minutes. James Shearer's in the box as well. As Allen wins the draw but couldn't clear it out. Now the Grizzlies throw it across ice, and it goes to neutral ice. As Pfizer back in his own end gets it. Grizzlies skate from left to right. Pfizer throws it to the center ice logo. Zach Sekos loses. He was skating towards the Allen blue line, and the Americans tried to clear it out. Oh, it miraculously stayed in. Now it goes out of the zone as Jacob Semick gets it. 3.5 minutes into the third as Semick towards the near side. 1:30 left in the Grizzlies power play. Skates towards his left. Hill banking out for Sekos. Cross ice to right. He gets it center ice and dumps it in from the right wing. Puck bounces off the end boards. Eric Williams will sail it back the other way. Grizzlies cut it off left side. Utah gets it to Pfizer. He'll take a right wing shot. Saved by Perry. It looked like Allen tried to clear it out. The Grizzlies kept it in, and we got some more pushing and shoving as Eric Williams knocked down Cameron Wright. Looks like Massacot's got Keaton Jamison by the back of his jersey. Grizzlies trying to win that real estate out in front of the net. Robidoux on the ice. He's going to get involved if there's going to be action. As Cameron Wright just kind of like what Cameron Wright normally does. You talk about a guy that's going to do the dirty work, get out in front of the net, and that's what Cameron Wright does. And obviously a team like Allen wants to make sure you keep him out of the crease, and Cameron Wright wants to do everything he can to get back in there. Kind of looked like a friendly conversation between Eric Williams and Cameron Wright. There isn't a single player on the Grizzlies roster who was with the Grizzlies and was a teammate of Eric Wright's with Eric Williams when he was with the Grizzlies in the 2019-2020 season. 1:13 left in the power play. 16 minutes, 15 seconds left in the third. Allen leads 6-2 as we're back to live action on the right side. Grant Hebert will take the draw against Keaton Jamison. As the face-off won by Utah. Semick's on two knees. He gets knocked down. Then Jamison hits the ice as Dalton Galley moves ahead, and the Americans are shorthanded. We'll clear it out to center. It's picked off by Zach Sekos. Right wing pass to Cameron Wright. He'll skate towards the right circle. Drops it off for Jamison, who skates towards his left. He'll feed it to the left point as Sekos skates towards the left corner on the far side. Sekos gets to the right in the left circle. He looked for a shot and goes down. As Allen will carry it out to center ice. Grant Hebert skates towards the right circle, 2-on-3. Hebert does center it out in front, and it goes wide as he was trying to find the cutter out in front of the net, and it looked like it was Aiden Brown. As the Grizzlies get the puck, as Jamison will hold on to it. He'll give it over to Preek as Utah filters some guys in and out. 25 seconds left in the power plays. Connor McDonald will move it ahead to Bryson Martin, who crosses center ice. Martin to the left wing, gains the blue line, gets around Jack Combs. Martin now around the net. I try to kick it out in front to Penner. Allen picks it off and will glance it off the near wing boards. McDonald keeps it in. He'll skate towards his right. Now losing the puck is Jared Power. Now Power gets it back. He'll skate towards the right circle. Feathers it to the left side. Shot and a score! And it's now a 6-3 game as Jared Power fed it to the far side, and Utah connected on a one-timer, and it's Tyler Penner getting his 11th of the year. Penner, the Grizzlies Iron Man, high-fives everybody on Utah's bench. There is 2 seconds left in the power play, so it's the Grizzlies' second power play goal of the game as Colton Sossaman comes out of the penalty box. 15:05 left in the third. But Jared Power had a good look there from the right side, but he fed it across to make the perfect pass, and Tyler Penner connected on the one-timer.
I think the only reason that goal happens is because Jared Power did not quit on that play. I really like what I saw from the Grizzlies on that goal.
Yeah, Power with a good move, keeping with it after losing it initially, as Allen gets the puck because they're in their own zone. Less than 15 minutes left in regulation. Allen leads 6-3 as both teams have one goal here so far in the third. Americans throw it to the left wing at neutral ice for Jack Combs, and he tried to dump it in. It glanced off his stick. It goes to the Grizzlies zone. Bryson Martin skates around Preek's net. Martin's got good speed. Rink-wide pass. It's tape to Pfizer. He'll skate towards the right circle. Take a shot. Saved by Perry. And he holds on, but a good move by the Grizzlies. That rink-wide pass from Martin to Pfizer connected, and Pfizer had a good look in the right circle. But Chase Perry looks like he's played a decent game.
Yeah, and Tyson, we talked about Terran Pfizer in the intermission. I mentioned it seemed like he was a little bit quiet in the first 2 periods. He's absolutely buzzing right now here in the third. I think he's going to be a big part, and if the Grizzlies are able to come back in this game.
14:39 left in the third period. It's the Americans 6 and the Grizzlies 3. As Draw's going to be in the right circle. Penner will take it. He just got his 11th goal of the season here about a minute ago with Jared Power getting the assist. It's Power's second assist of the year, and Jared Power in his 7th pro game. Wright will take the draw against Stephon Fournier. Now it looks like Fournier's kicked out of the face-off circle. And taking it's Kobe McCauley. Draw won by the Grizzlies as Christian Simeone takes a lefty shot, and it goes wide as he took the shot from the right wing as Semick rolls along the wall. Now the Grizzlies out in front, hack away. Allen comes away with the puck as the Americans will drift it out to center ice, and it goes back to the Grizzlies. Utah on their own end, skating from left to right. As Power got an assist on the Penner goal. Now Allen skates into the offensive zone. Right wing shot saved by Preek. And after the whistle, Robideau and Fournier have some words with the Grizzly. As Aaron Tho in the area. Tho fought Mikhail Robideau in early February at Maverick Center. As Preek holds on. Kind of feels like that volcano is starting to erupt just a little bit. Are we going to see some action? Are we going to see a ton of penalty minutes in the next 14 minutes and 17 seconds? Hey, who really knows? Utah trying to get a goal to climb back in this one as it's Allen 6 and Utah 3. Draw on the right side is won by the Americans. Slot shot goes wide. The Americans skate around Preek's net, but it looks like Lucas is covered up. 14:10 left in the third. Draw is going to be in the Grizzlies zone.
Well, Tyson, you mentioned that potential eruption of the volcano, if you will, at the end of this game. I think we are going to see it. Question is will the Grizzlies be on the losing side of that, or will they be on the winning side of that? I think they need to set the tone physically before that happens to make sure that they're on top of it.
So Draw's going to be in the Grizzlies zone. Lucas Preek replacing Trent Miner halfway through the first period. And it looks like Preek, let's get his updated stats here. He has stopped 16 of 19 as he has played the last 36 minutes of play. Draw in the Grizzly zone is won by Allen. Puck goes towards the crease. Keaton Jamison will throw it back to the far wing boards as Christian Simeone, rink-wide pass picked off by Galley. Now rolls towards Jamison, glanced off his stick, and Ryan Gagnon gets it for Allen as he skates around the Americans' net. Now move it ahead. Grizzlies get it back in neutral ice. Rink-wide pass goes tape to right. Right will bounce it off a Gagnon's stick. Jamison skates down the middle, take a shot. Saved by Perry. Allen will tap it off the near glass, as Utah might have played it with a high stick as Grizzlies get it. Jamison to the right side, across to Simeone. He'll take a lefty shot and is blocked. Puck stays at Simeone's ankles, tried to center, and he glanced it off a Chrome. Now Wright rolls it along the wall as Grizzlies to the right point, feed it back around as now Utah to the left. Cameron Wright goes down. Simeone in the area, collides with McCauley as Galley and Wright battle in the corner, 2-on-2 as McCauley and Simeone continue to jostle. Now Wright takes it away, skates along the far goal line, gets dragged down by Mallory, no call. As the Americans clear it out to center. Utah back in their own end. James Shearer moves it ahead. As it goes back to Christian Simeone, who will back it out into the Grizzlies zone. As Utah makes a line change, less than 13 minutes left in the third. As the Grizzlies behind the net, Bryson Martin throws to the far side as the Grizzlies. Connor McDonald throws a rink-wide pass to Penner. Penner to the right side. I look to center to McCallchuck, but Allen pokes it away. Good defensive play by Eric Williams, who clears it out to center. McDonald will throw it back into the Grizzlies zone as Shearer gets it back to McDonald. He'll throw a blue line to blue line pass, connects. McCallchuck skates down the middle, take a righty shot. Saved by Perry. He might have gotten a piece of it and might have gone wide. Tough to track that one as Allen skates back the other way. Americans drop it off for Finley. Good play by Tyler Penner, cutting off Finley, and he couldn't get the puck. Utah gets over to McCallchuck, who gets tripped up. And is a call going to be made? I think so. Allen looks like he touched up as McCallchuck got tripped up as he was skating towards the corner. Let's see who the penalty is going to be on. Skating towards the penalty box is Jack Combs. 12-17 left in the third. Allen leads 6-3. Looks like the Grizzlies are going to be on a power play when we come back in 1 minute on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
12-17 left in the third. Allen leads 6-3. Draws a new try since won by the Americans. As Allen skating from right to left in the third period. Last of a 3-game series. It's a rubber match. As Mallory in the corner battles with Terran Pfizer. Seko skates over there. Seko says go past him. Yakov Novak, who scored his first professional goal, and this is his professional debut early in the third period, is Allen. To the right side, Finley. Up top for Mallory. As Mallory will throw it to the right side. Allen will chip it back up top. As Mallory gets it back in the left point, they'll fire it off the end wall. As rolls back to Jack Combs at the far goal line, he'll chip it back up top. Sossman with the righty shot, and it goes wide. As Allen towards the right side gets to Combs behind the net. Combs up top for Mallory. He'll take a lefty shot. Saved by Preek. Rebound goes out to Utah. They try to get to Pfizer. It bounced over his stick. As Mallory throws to center ice. Puck rolls back to Sossman. We'll chip it ahead to Finley. Finley back in his own end, goes across to Sossman. Back to Finley, who's in near the far corner. Allen's in no hurry. They've got a 3-goal lead. As the Americans still on their own end, pitch it out to center ice for Aiden Brown. He couldn't reach it. A Grizzly goes down. Simeone battles as the puck ends up deep in the Grizzlies zone. Preet behind his net will fire it towards the far side. Goes to Utah as the Grizzlies in the white jerseys with black numbers and professional green trim get it to McDonald. Connor gains center ice and fires a shot. Saved by Perry. And it looks like the whistle blows as there's 10:54 left in the third. Allen leads 6-3. It looks like the Americans really are in no hurry to get anything themselves. They just want to make sure they don't let the Grizzlies get anything.
Yeah, really, Allen, there's no reason for them to try and produce more offense. They'd probably just try and lock this thing down here. If you're the Grizzlies, I like the way that they've played so far in this third period, but I think I'd like to see a little bit more urgency as time goes on.
Draws give me on the right side, and it's won by the Grizzlies as McCallchuck back on the right side, drops it off for McDonald. Now it goes back to McCallchuck, fires towards the net. And it got redirected by a couple bodies. As the puck ends up in the right corner, Tyler Penner skates over there. Penner scored his 11th of the year with Power getting the assist, 4:55 in to the third period. It was a power play goal. Utah's got 2 power play goals here this evening. As Grizzlies will move it ahead to Simeone. Simeone wearing number 24, second-year pro out of Merrimack, crosses center ice. Now he veers off to the left. Simeone gains the line, skates towards the left circle. He'll take a shot, saved by Perry. Rebound goes out to Penner in the far corner. He'll drift it back up top as it goes back to Penner as he tried to fire towards the net and it gets blocked. As Penner throws it across, it glanced off a Tho's skate. Tho gets it. He'll skate behind the net. He keeps the puck as Gagnon's pushing him. Gagnon and Tho collide in the corner. Gagnon over to Simeone. Simeone gets hit by Gagnon. Robidoux takes the puck. He'll spin it along the wall towards the near side as Allen carries it out to center ice as it's taken by the Americans. As Aiden Brown, make that Justin Young, will drop it off for Massacott using the left point as he'll throw it back to Hebert, spins it to Hank Crone. He's in the corner. Crone overskated it. As Grizzlies will move it ahead to Simeone. He'll ricochet off the near boards. Now it glides over to Michalchuk, who will drag it out to center ice as it goes back to Allen. Right side, Americans dump it in. Now Hebert around the net, trying to kick it out in front. It bounced off a Tho stick. Now McCauley will hit it off a Tho. It goes back to Allen. They skate towards the right corner and roll it around to Hank Crone. Crone, the league's leading scorer, over to Massacott as Hebert gets knocked down by Tho. Tho gets back up. Tho gets the puck as he skates around Preek, and he'll throw it to the far side. Grizzlies will lift it in the air. It's gloved at center ice and dropped by Massacott as he'll skate towards the left wing in the Grizzly zone and dumps it in from just outside the blue line. Less than 9 minutes left in the third. Allen leads 6-3. As the Americans get it to their blue line, will push a blue line to blue line pass. It goes past Hank Crone. Icing is on the Americans with 8:50 left in the third. Nothing really happened there in the last minute, and unfortunately for the Grizzlies, nothing happened as the puck was at neutral ice just about the entire time.
Yeah, and as time goes on, it certainly hurts the Grizzlies. I mean, the closer we get to triple zeros on the clock, the Allen Americans are going to continue to play lockdown defense, and the Grizzlies need to find a way to combat that and start getting some goals here.
Draw is going to be in the American zone. Zach Sekos will take the draw against Yakov Novak. Novak, in his professional debut out of Northeastern University, was just signed by the Americans this week. As the Grizzlies win the draw, left point, shot goes wide to Sekos in the corner. And so glided up top for Martin. He'll take a lefty shot, saved by Perry. Rebound goes out to the far corner for Wright. Wright gets held up by Massacott. Pfizer trying to get the puck, but it goes over to Chris Mallory. We'll skate towards the corner now. Mallory across to Massacott as the Americans back out to center ice. As goes back to Massacott, who will fire it across as the Americans over to the left side gain the line. Novak across. Allen, right point. Righty shot goes wide. Martin in the area as he'll feed it back over. Sekos will gather it. He'll throw a tape to Wright, who crosses center ice. Right ahead to Pfizer. Pfizer tries to get around Chris Mallory. Wright gets held up, or Pfizer gets held up. I tried to feed it out in front to Wright, and Wright couldn't get it. As Eric Williams and Wright collide. Now the Grizzlies, slot shot saved by Perry. Now goes back over to Pfizer. He's on the right side, and he'll glance it off of Mallory as the puck glides towards the corner. Pfizer goes down. Aaron Tho over there as well. Pfizer trying to locate the puck. It's at his ankle. Mallory tripped him up. Penalty is going to be called. Pfizer on two knees takes a shot that goes wide. Grizzlies out at center ice. Preek skates to the bench. 7:35 left in the third. Grizzlies going to be on the power play. As Utah to neutral ice, Simeone gets around a skater, and we get some pushing. We get a fight out in front of the Allen bench. As though McDonald over there, Fournier, Robidoux. Looks like Robidoux's tied up with Tho. This would be the second time they fought, but the linesman wouldn't let him fight. Simeone and McCauley look at each other. Tho wants a piece of Robidoux. Now Fournier skates over towards Tho, and Fournier says, "You're not fighting him, or fighting me." Looks like cooler heads have prevailed. Robidoux says, "What did I do?" He's not sure. Maybe it's a reputation thing. Robidoux threw a hit to Tho. Boy, Tho was just trying to skate off the ice, and Robidoux threw him across the boards there. Boy, that was a hit as Tho went flying. And 7:28 left in the third. Robidoux's not sure what he did. Well, what you did is you took Tho and you threw him across off the boards. Allen's up by 3, and it looks like the Grizzlies are going to be on a power play anyway, as Terran Pfizer got tripped up by Chris Mallory.
Yeah, Tyson, I wish that they would have let him fight there. I understand that there is the thing is in mind that they know that there's going to be bad blood between these two teams, and they're going to try and keep things at a minimum here. But I would have liked to see him fight. Just let him go. I mean, they got beef to squash. Let them settle it. Let them fight.
I think it's one of those you're like, okay, well, let's get one fight and just settle the whole thing. We'll let you two drop the gloves, and then if you're officiating crew, you hope that that's it. That's done with. Okay, well, we're all good now after that. But it kind of bubbles along the surface by just breaking it up, throwing Robidoux.
Yeah, I agree. And this isn't pay-per-view. I mean, the people in there, they paid the ticket to get in there. Let them see another fight. When we got one, let them see another. All right, let's see what's on the fight card here.
7:28 left in the third. Chris Mallory's in the box, 2 minutes for tripping. And for the Grizzlies, I mean, whether they win this game or not, it feels like the power play, they're going to have to get one if they want a chance.
I agree, Tyson. The power play so far in this game already has a goal. They need to find a way to get another one. Utah 2 for 6 on the power play in this game, which I think is an improvement from what we saw earlier on in the series. So we've seen this power play start to really gel as time is going on. We mentioned Andrew Nielsen got traded. He was a big part of that power play. And so that unit really trying to find a way to work together, find out just how things are going to mesh. And it seems like the Grizzlies are turning a corner on that power play. They need to get another one on this year.
And for thinking about that 3-game series against Cincinnati at Maverick Center, make sure to get your tickets to UtahGrizzlies.com. It will be fun to see the Cincinnati Cyclones live and in person Wednesday, Friday at 7 o'clock and Sunday at 3 p.m. Grizzlies are going to need to play ball on the special teams. If Cincinnati's got a standing point in 17 straight games, and they're as dominant as they're as dominant as the record says they are, Grizzlies are going to need to play ball on the power play and penalty kill here against Cincinnati.
Well, Cincinnati's obviously doing something right, and the Grizzlies need to find out what that is and put an end to it. Cincinnati's a really good team, and it's going to be a tough opponent for the Grizzlies, but I think that they can come away with a few wins against the Cyclones.
So it looks like now Fournier's in the box for 2 minutes. Looked like originally Mallory was going to get in. Mallory's got to serve as tripping minor anyway. But it looks like they've changed the score bug from Mallory to Fournier. Now they've taken it off the board and put it back to Mallory. 7:28 left in the third as Allen leads 6-3. It looks like a lot of fans are having a good time in attendance. About 2,600 or so over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. It's always fun when they show the fans over there. If you find a Grizzly jersey, we've seen that in some of the other places. Hopefully we'll see a lot of Grizzlies jerseys and Grizzlies fans this week against the Cincinnati Cyclones.
Yeah, always good to see a Grizzlies fan in enemy territory. We saw Grisby over in Rapid City one time on the Flow Sports feed, So that was cool to see. And we'll see what the Grizzlies can cook up on this power play.
Allen's got a breakaway. They'll skate in. Lefty shot saved by Preek. As Utah had it for about 10 seconds, then Allen took it away. I think that was Grant Hebert. As the Americans at center ice will throw it back into their own end as Allen playing a game of keep away. And they'll throw it to center ice, picked off by Cameron Wright. 1:37 and counting left in Utah's power play as Keaton Jamison skates towards the far corner. Now dish it up top for Sekos, who surveys just outside the far circle. Semic back to Sekos as now he skates towards the corner and a ricochet off the boards to Semic, who glides it across to Wright. Wright throws it towards the middle for Pfizer, chips it back to the left side for Sekos to take a lefty shot that goes wide. Puck glides along the boards and it goes out to center ice and into the Grizzly zone as Jacob Semic chases after it. Semic on Wednesday night will make his Maverick Center debut as he's played in all 3 games in this series. It's his first 3 as a pro. Wright centers it to Pfizer. He'll take a righty shot, saved by Perry. Now, Pfizer behind the net, 6.5 minutes left in regulation. He'll throw it up top to somebody off the screen. It's Semic. Now, Sekos, right side, shot, and it goes wide as he was open for a redirection. Now, Allen will carry it out to center ice, 2-on-3. Americans hold on to the puck. They skate towards the right corner. As Allen avoids a check on, they look to center, and it's picked off by Sekos. 37 seconds left in the Grizzlies' power play. Utah starts to filter some guys in and out, and so does the Allen Americans. 30 seconds left in the power play. James Shearer skates down the middle. He gets to neutral ice, left wing pass. Grizzlies enter. Bryson Martin, who's got good speed, stops before the corner on the far side. Jared Power's got an assist tonight. He'll skate towards his right, and he'll chase after the puck. Power gets it to the right as Power will survey. Now throw it up top to Martin. He'll take a lefty shot, and it's blocked. As puck goes to the left point, Allen gets it. They'll chip it ahead, and the pass is wide of the mark looking for Liam Finley. As Shearer races down to get it deep in the Grizzlies zone, and out of the penalty box is Chris Mallory. 5.5 minutes left in the third, still 6-3. Power to the left side gets it, and he'll roll it along the wall as puck goes back to Allen. The Americans will feed it ahead, looking for Mallory. He avoids a check of Martin. Puck goes back to the Utah blue line as Grizzlies will get it to Penner. He gets pushed along the near wing boards. Now goes back into the Grizzlies zone as Bryce Martin throws to the far side. 5 minutes left in the third as Allen's up 6-3. Grizzlies, Mikalchuk, he avoided a big hit there as he lost his balance, lost the puck as Allen gets it back. Americans in their own end, 4:50 left in the third. Last meeting between these clubs this year, and we'll see if anything gets physical in the final 4:43. As Grizzlies still in their own end, skating from left to right. Right wing pass to McDonald. Connor gains the blue line, skates towards the circle, take a righty shot, saved by Perry. Rebound goes out to center ice. Simeone throws it back to James Shearer, who's deep in the Grizzlies zone. Shearer gets around Hank Crone. Crone holds up Shearer. Now Crone pushes Shearer awkwardly along the boards. Penalty is going to be called on Hank Crone as he just boarded James Shearer along the far corner. So Crone gets 2 minutes, 4:21 left in the third period. And when we come back in 1 minute, the Grizzlies are going to be back on the power play. It's the Americans 6 and the Grizzlies 3. This is Utah Grizzlies hockey, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
Crohn's in the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. We believe it's boarding. It could be something else. Aaron Tho and Mikael Robidoux. Looks like both guys got 2 minutes. So 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike and a 10-minute misconduct. Robidoux, a 2-minute interference penalty and 10 minutes for misconduct. That happened in that altercation there near the bench area when Robidoux threw Tho along the wall. So both guys are going to sit for the rest of this one. Allen leads 6-3 as Hank Crone's in the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. It looks like he's in 2 minutes for cross-checking. 15:39 into the third period. Action towards Chase Perry. The Allen goaltenders had a good game. The Grizzlies, in terms of shots, they're up to 35. 35 shots for the Grizzlies, including 10 in the third period. Allen has taken 11 shots in the third period. They're up to 28 for the contest. Allen wins the draw as Grizzlies will bounce it off of Jacob Semick. Now goes to Keaton Jamison. He'll take a righty shot, and it goes wide as he took the shot from the slot. As Colton Saucerman will lift it over Keaton Jamison. It goes deep in the Grizzlies zone. As Lucas Preek will give it over to Jacob Semick. About 4 minutes left in regulation as Allen leads 6-3. Right wing pass to Cameron Wright, who's got 16 power play points. Wright gets blasted at center ice as Pfizer throws it across. Now to the left wing, Keaton Jamison across to Wright. He skates down the middle, takes a righty shot, saved by Perry. Allen gets it, tries to clear it out. Semick keeps it in as he got the bouncing puck. He'll throw it to his right for Sekos, who skates towards the corner. Back to Pfizer, gets pushed. He loses the puck. Allen gets it, and Kobe McCauley sails it all the way deep in the Grizzlies zone. Utah makes a line change as Jamison still out there. Now I'll get it to James Shearer. Skates behind Utah's net. 3:25 and counting left in the third. Allen leads 6-3. Shearer skates down the middle. He's still in his own zone. Pfizer's over there. He'll glide towards the bench as Shearer communicates with Lucas Preek, who talks with Shearer as Preek looks over his left shoulder as Shearer throws to the far side. Now the Grizzlies cross center. Bryson Martin loses it as Allen will skate in onside as Justin Young will take a left wing shot, saved by Preek. Rebound goes out towards the left corner. Now behind the net, Shearer will get it across. Less than 3 minutes left in regulation. As Dylan Fitz gains neutral ice, he'll throw a left wing pass. As Grizzlies enter the zone, everybody stops skating as Grant Hebert is in a fight with Tyler Penner. Neither guy dropped the gloves, but it stopped play with 2:49 left in the third. Is that the first of many, or is that going to be the last? Both linesmen stepped in. Neither guy dropped the gloves, but it looks like play stopped, and that probably means that one or both guys will be going to the penalty box.
Well, Tyson, I'd put my money on the first of many. We've seen physicality ramp up throughout the course of this game. Now we see Penner getting into it with Hebert. I don't think that's the last we'll see the physical play.
And Penner's given up some size at 5'11", 182. Grant Hebert looks like he's going to get an early shower. Hebert goes 6'4" and 200 pounds. I don't know. They only showed Hebert. I don't know if Penner skated off, for the Grizzlies. But it doesn't, yeah, I'd imagine based on the size difference, I'd imagine that, Hebert wanted it, but Penner probably didn't, at least against a guy that size.
Well, it certainly is a pretty tall task to go up against a guy like Grant Hebert. But for Tyler Penner, I give him credit for sticking with that, really getting in the face of Hebert. You mentioned how big of a guy he is, but it didn't seem like Tyler was afraid.
2:49 left in the third period. As it's kind of interesting, it was away from the play, and they decided to stop play there. As now it looks like the clock is moving. Grizzlies have it in their own zone. Utah skating from left to right in the third period as Taryn Pfizer gets it poked away. He gets pushed as puck rolls towards the Allen blue line. Americans get it, and they'll sell it deep in the Grizzlies zone as Preek will cut it off. So get it over to Jacob Semick. They will skate towards the far side as Zach Sekos will now skate around Preek's net. Sekos skates down the middle. He'll drive it towards the near side for Wright. Wright crosses center ice. Puck sails too far in front of him, and Allen gets it and clears it out. Preek sails towards the far corner. He gets it, and he'll lift it out to center ice. Puck goes towards the near side as Cameron Wright moves it ahead. As Massacott over in the near corner of Allen's zone will force a pass out to center ice and into the Grizzly zone as Utah gets it. 2 minutes left in the third. Pass ahead to Cameron Wright. He skates it along the left side, tries to drop it off for Sekos. And now taking its Utah. Lefty shot goes wide. Jamison in the area, so is Cameron Wright. Wright gets pushed along the glass by Novak. Bouncing puck to the right point. McDonald settles it. So get it to Jamison, who throws it behind the net for Wright. Wright skates towards the left circle. Now Wright tries to glide it ahead, and it gets poked back to the corner. Grizzly gets tripped up, no call. Or is there? Yeah, the official from the official at center ice made the call for hooking. The guy looking right at the play decided to let it go. Hooking's going to be the call, and Liam Finley goes to the box. 1:33 left in the third. So the Grizzlies are going to have another power play in the third period.
Well, it's interesting that they decide to call all these penalties now, but for the Grizzlies, this game is, well, pretty much out of reach. Yeah. It's just a matter of, can you get the power play clicking heading into that series against Cincinnati?
Yeah, exactly. And, we don't know anything about Dakota Raby except for, he might have had to have been helped off. But, the Grizzlies are already without Cam Strong. We're not sure about his availability for the Cincinnati series. Can the Grizzlies get either Johnny Walker or Jordan Martell? Both guys are unhealthy scratches. Can they get either guy back in the lineup for this week? It'll be interesting to see it. Cincinnati will be here this upcoming Wednesday and Friday at 7 o'clock and next Sunday at 3 p.m. as Allen wins the faceoff and clears it out as Liam Finley's in the box. 2 minutes for hooking. 1:23 and counting left in regulation as the Grizzlies skate down the middle. Sure will throw up behind his back as Zach Sekos gains center ice, skates down the middle. Now he feeds it to the right side for Pfizer. Pfizer's got a goal in 4 straight. Looks to feed it out to Sekos out in front. Pass went wide as Grizzlies have it go out to center ice. As Semick ahead to Pfizer. Pfizer to the right side gains the line. He gets hacked by Brown. Pfizer rolls along the wall. Sekos gets hit by Gagnon. And boy, Sekos is on. Sekos is down. Colin Lee, the Grizzlies trainer, is going to race after him. Boy, just hope to get out of here healthy. Obviously, the game's not in doubt, the outcome. And now Zach Sekos is on the ice. And Colin Lee, the Grizzlies trainer, is looking after him. We already saw Dakota Raby go down late in the first period. And sadly, I don't think we're going to get any sort of look to indicate one way or another whether Sekos is okay. The door is open behind Allen's net, and that's probably where Sekos is going to go. As Allen leads 6-3. Gagnon hits Sekos behind the Allen net. 57 seconds left in the third.
Just tough for the Grizzlies. I mean, you think about losing Strong earlier on in the series. Now Dakota Raby out. Now you see Sekos leave the game. Grizzlies have certainly been bitten by the injury bug, and it comes at an unfortunate time in the season.
Looks like Sekos is now off the ice as they got a door right there behind the Allen net. And so it looks like Sekos is off for the rest of regulation. Colin Lee, the Grizzlies trainer, assisting him. Less than a minute left in the third period. Me and Guy are trying to figure out which one's going to be the first one to say we're on to Cincinnati. I guess I beat you to it. As the Grizzlies will take on the Cyclones this week. As looks like they're working on something there. It looks like Sekos might be off, but they might be working on something. Maybe he drew blood or something behind the net. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to get anything one way or another to let you know. Now, Fournier's got some words for Jared Power. Two of the top penalty minute teams in the league. We saw a lot of fisticuffs there in February. And this would be tough if Sekos goes out. That's the third forward the Grizzlies would have lost to injury in this series, especially with a tough Cincinnati team coming to town. You want to have everybody healthy that you can for that series. Is obviously the Grizzlies battling for a playoff spot. Looks like Allen is going to tie with Kansas City with 62 standings points for second place in the Mountain Division. Draw goes all the way towards the Grizzlies zone as Connor McDonald chases after it. Utah still on a 5-on-4 power play, less than 50 seconds left. As Jamison gains the line, skates towards the right corner. Jamison will skate towards the left circle, centers it to Power. He'll take a lefty shot, saved by Perry. As Power looking for his first pro goal. Now the puck goes to the right side. McCallchuck up top for Martin. He's on the left side, half a minute left. Martin across to McDonald. Back up top from Martin. He'll feed it to the left side as the Grizzlies get it back up top from Martin. He'll take a lefty shot, and it's blocked as Allen will clear it out to center. It bounced off of Martin. Preek's still in the game as he'll skate towards the near circle, and he'll outlet it out to center ice. 15 seconds left as McCallchuck in the area trying to locate it. Jared Power feeds it across. It's picked off at center ice by the Americans as Ryan Gagnon dumps it in. 5 seconds left. And looks like time's going to run out on the Grizzlies, and that will do it. Both teams had one goal in the third period as the Americans get a 6-3 victory. Colton Hargrove had 2 goals and 2 assists, and Colton Sossaman and one other American had 1 goal and 1 assist. The other American was Kobe McCauley. As the Americans high-five everybody. We hope that Zach Sekos is okay. Looked like he got hurt in the final minute of regulation. We hope Dakota Raby is okay. He got hurt at the end of the first period. Cam Strong missed tonight's game, and hopefully he'll be okay as the Grizzlies skate off the ice. As Allen gets a 6-3 victory, as they scored 5 goals in the first period, none in the second, and 1 in the third. Grizzlies 2 goals in the first, none in the second, and 1 in the third. When we come back, we'll have the post-game report as the final score from Credit Union of Texas Event Center as the Allen Americans 6 and the Utah Grizzlies 3. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
6 and the Grizzlies 3. I'm Tyson Whiting. Well, the game was pretty much decided early on as the game-winning goal was scored 10:38 or 10:36 into the first period. Colton Sossaman of Allen got them on the board 41 seconds into the contest. His 5th of the year, Colton Hargrove and Kobe McCauley with the assists. Then 6:27 in, it was Colton Hargrove on the power play, scoring from the right side. Sossaman and Combs with the assists. That was a 5-on-3 power play goal. Liam Finley scored on a breakaway, 9:22 in, as he got a pass from Jack Combs and from about the Utah blue line in, just skated down the middle and got it past Trent Miner. When Finley scored 9:22 in, Trent Miner was pulled. He stopped 4 of 7, and Lucas Preek played the rest of the way for the Grizzlies. Preek ended up getting the loss as he allowed the goal to Colton Hargrove, 10:36 in. It was Hargrove's 35th of the year and 2nd of the game. Gagnon and Crone with the assists as Lucas Preek goes to 10-12 this season. Grizzlies got on the board unassisted on the power play as Cameron Wright scored 12:08 in. It was a great effort 5 seconds into the power play for Wright, and it gets his 21st of the season. It is Wright's 6th power play goal of the campaign. Allen made it 5-1 as Kobe McCauley got his 6th of the year, 17:15 into the first. Hank Crone and Colton Hargrove with the assists. James Shearer answered 24 seconds later as he got his 5th of the year, Dakota Raby and Cameron Wright with the assists. So Raby now has a point in 13 of his last 15 games, and Cameron Wright gets his 11th multiple-point game of the season, just one back of Andrew Nilsson for the club lead. Late in the first period, the Grizzlies got a power play as Liam Finley got a interference minor, 19-11 in, and then 10 seconds later, Colton Hargrove with a match penalty, illegal check to the head on Dakota Raby. Raby got injured, and he did not return to the game, and hopefully he'll be okay. Remember, he missed 5 games due to a high hit against Rapid City and missed the first 5 games of February, as that was the last game of January. Grizzlies had a big-time 5-minute major power play, and about a minute, pretty close to a minute 50 worth of a 5-on-3. Unfortunately, from the Grizzlies' perspective, they couldn't capitalize on the 5-on-3 power play or any of the major penalty. The score was 5-2 after one period. Utah outshot Allen 12-10 in the first period. Nobody scored in the second period. Utah outshot Allen 13-7. In the third period, Utah outshot Allen 14-13. And early in the third, James Shearer, it was Allen, Yakov Novak, who got his first of the year with Jack Combs and Liam Finley getting the assist. Novak in his professional debut, and it was a successful one for him, as Tony Denzer, the equipment manager, had to get the puck, and with that, Allen took a 6-2 lead. Tyler Penner got Utah on the board, 4:55 into the third. It was a power play goal. I think there was 2 seconds left in the power play when Penner scored. Jared Power gets his second assist of the year. It's Power's 7th game as a pro. It's good to see the Grizzlies Iron Man Tyler Penner find the back of the net for the 11th time this season. He had 13 goals last year. And that did it for the scoring. There was a little bit of physical stuff late. Aaron Tho and Mikael Robidoux mixed it up. Both guys got a 2 and a 10. Looked like Hank Crone got a cross-checking minor, 15:39 in. Tyler Penner got a roughing minor, and Penner also got a misconduct, and the same was the case for Grant Hebert. 2 for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct. And then Liam Finley got a hooking minor, 18:27 into the third. Unfortunately, with about 57 seconds left in the regulation, Zach Sekos appeared to get injured behind Allen's net as he got hit by Ryan Gagnon. As the third Grizzlies forward to go down, Cam Strong got hurt on Friday night and didn't play today. Raby got hurt in the first period. Zach Sekos late in regulation. And boy, the Grizzlies are already without the Rooster, Jordan Martell, and Johnny Walker due to injuries. So we don't know the availability of any of those 3 guys, although when you're playing a team like Cincinnati, who's got a standing point in 17 straight games, a Cyclones team that on the road this year has a record of 25-3-1. They've got a point percentage of .725, which is the most in the Central Division and second best in the Western Conference. Grizzlies are going to need to have every healthy body they can for the Cincinnati series, and unfortunately, not only did the Grizzlies lose 2 out of 3 games and finish the season series 4-8 against the Allen Americans, but the Grizzlies didn't come away with it necessarily healthy heading into the Cincinnati series.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest loss of this entire series is, you get 2 out of 6 points for the Grizzlies, these 2 games against Allen here. But, man, you think about losing Strong, Sekos, Raby, that's a whole forward line in itself. And 3 really good players that were playing great for the Grizzlies at the time that they went down. So you figure if you don't have any of those guys against Cincinnati, that's certainly tough. That's tough for a Grizzlies team that really was playing well coming into this Allen series. It hurts. It hurts bad.
Taryn Pfizer's 4-game goal scoring streak came to an end, but it wasn't for lack of effort, as Pfizer had quite a few good looks, as he had 6 shots. Cameron Wright led the Grizzlies with 9 shots. Wright had 1 goal and 1 assist. Chase Perry, the Allen goaltender, gets the win in net. He stopped 36 of 39. Remember, over the last 16 games, the Grizzlies are averaging about 39 shots per game. Lucas Preek, kind of a tough luck loss as he came in with a score 3-0. And because the Grizzlies were able to score 3 goals, Preek gets held with the loss as his record falls to 10-12 this season. And, it just wasn't Miner's day. But, when you think about Allen's first 3 goals, one was on a shot where it looked like Miner had a lot of traffic out in front and couldn't see it. Second one, when Allen had the power play and had the puck in the offensive zone for like a minute and a half on a 5-on-3 and just kept working it around. Grizzlies blocked a couple shots, but eventually Hargrove got a good look from the right side and scored. And then the third one was a breakaway. I think Ryan Kanasowicz knew his team needed a wake-up call and kind of used a goaltender change to try to get the team going.
Exactly, Tyson. I don't think this loss is on Trent Miner at all. I think those 3 goals that he gave up were really difficult for any goaltender to make a save on that play. I think you're right. The team just needed a wake-up call, and it was either he uses his timeout or he changes the goalie, and he went with the latter. But I think just from the drop of the puck, I think Allen was just the better team tonight. I think they had the jump on the Grizzlies. I mean, they were just moving faster, and it showed. I mean, you think about the first goal coming 41 seconds into the game. I mean, Allen, they were ready for this game, and I don't think they were happy about Friday night's loss. I think that they were disappointed in the way that they played. And so they came out and they wanted to make a statement, and they did just that. They caught the Grizzlies on their heels, and the Grizzlies spent much of this game trying to climb back into this one. But it was a tall task. Allen built up a big lead, and the Grizzlies weren't able to come back from that.
Looks like Cincinnati holds on to defeat Fort Wayne 2-1, as the Cyclones got a goal from Justin Vive. We'll get that name straightened out before Wednesday. He gets his 29th of the season. Interesting, considering that Cincinnati was the home team. And usually in this league, sometimes you don't travel extra players. At least some clubs don't. Cincinnati was the home team, and they only skated 15. So the Cyclones, unless they've got some injuries, and I don't know how long-term the injuries would be, looks like the Cincinnati Cyclones are a little bit shorthanded. Who knows if they're going to have all 17, to get, to face Utah this week. Former Grizzly forwards Luca Burzan and Matt Berry are currently on their roster. St. Clair started in net for Cincinnati and got the win, stopping 33 of 34. So the Cyclones now have a standing point in 18 straight games. So it's going to be a fun one. I know a lot of fans get tired of seeing the same teams come through Maverick Center. Well, this is a new one. The last time the Grizzlies faced the Cyclones was in January of 2019. The Grizzlies won that game in a shootout. I remember because I was there. It was a lot of fun going to Cincinnati. By far, of all the road places I went to pre-pandemic, that was my favorite spot on the road, was Cincinnati. As the arena right there in Cincinnati is right next to Great American Ballpark, and the Bengals Stadium's like a couple blocks away. All there right next to the river. And on the river is the border of Ohio and Kansas City. So you could cross this bridge, and one side of the bridge is Kentucky. The other side is Ohio. It's one of my favorite places. I think the Cincinnati broadcast, Andrew will be here this week representing Cincinnati. I'm really looking forward to a fun series and learning about some new players and learning about a new team in Cincinnati.
I think it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to the Cincinnati series. We've got a lot of great events coming up at Maverick Center. You talk about AFCU Friday, and then you got the military night as well on Friday, and an interesting opponent in the Cincinnati Cyclones. You mentioned they're on an 18-game point streak, but the Grizzlies are going to be looking to snap that, and I really wonder how the Grizzlies are going to come out and play. I think you got to put this Allen series in the rearview mirror and just say, we're on to Cincinnati. And for the Grizzlies, I think this series is going to prove it's going to tell us a lot about this Grizzlies team and how resilient they are. Really good team coming into your building. How do you respond after coming off of a tough loss?
And consider the Grizzlies haven't played Idaho for 2 months. I think it's a good barometer to figure out where you are as a club. Are you up to the level of Idaho and Cincinnati? Well, if you can compete with Cincinnati, it appears you can compete with anybody. So I think it's a moment of truth for the Grizzlies this week. If they can compete with Cincinnati, I think we will know that they can compete with just about anybody in the league. Now, if Cincinnati has their way, I don't think you can get too discouraged considering that Cincinnati's had their way with everybody. Law of averages, though, 18 straight games of the standing point, it's bound to end at some point. Cyclones has just been a juggernaut right now, but this game right here, I think if we're talking about, what a barometer is, how good are the Grizzlies exactly, we'll probably know a lot, good or bad, here in the next week.
This series is going to tell us a lot, Tyson. And I like that. You think about the Cincinnati Cyclones and the Idaho Steelheads, two dominant forces in the Western Conference. We haven't seen Idaho in a long time, but the last time that the Grizzlies did see the Steelheads, they won 2 out of the 3 games. So I think the Grizzlies have really come a long way since they saw the Steelheads. The Cincinnati team, they're on a heater right now. But you're right. I think it's bound to end sometime soon. And I think you got to come down to the Maverick Center and be a part of Grizzmania and really watch this Cincinnati Cyclones streak end, because I like this Grizzlies team chances, Tyson. I think that they're rolling. I think that this Allen series is just going to be an outlier. I think it's going to be fun.
Looking forward to Grizzmania here throughout the rest of the month of May. It's a March of the Grizz. Utah, despite the losses, 6-2 here in the month of March. I think the disappointing thing, though, is in the one game the Grizzlies did win, Allen did get a standing point as Utah won in a shootout. And with the victory, Allen is now tied with Kansas City for second place in the Mountain Division. Grizzlies are tied with Wichita for 4th in the division. I think the Grizzlies would own whatever tiebreaker over Wichita. Rapid City takes on Tulsa today. I think if you're a Grizzlies fan, you're rooting for Tulsa because Rapid City is not that far removed from the Grizzlies right now. So the Rush come into play with 57 standings points. And guess what? If you got Flow Sports and you want to watch some more hockey, Rapid City and Tulsa looks like they're going to get underway in about 5 minutes from now over at the Monument. So you can watch some hockey and probably root on Tulsa if you're a Grizzlies fan, because Rapid City, they're 6-4 in their last 10 games. Tulsa is far enough back in the standings that they pretty much have to go undefeated the rest of the way to have a chance. Rapid City's got 57 points, which are 4 behind the Grizzlies. You're looking at, only 4 playoff spots. The Grizzlies are going to be rooting against Wichita the rest of the way, but the Grizzlies can do something about Wichita as they'll face the Thunder at Maverick Center March 29th, 31st, and April 1st. Rapid City is one of those teams that got a lot of talent. They can put together a winning streak. Interesting, when I looked at the schedule earlier this week, looked like it was pretty even. Every team that's battling in the Mountain Division, they've got like 2 or 3 good opponents and then 2 or 3 teams that, are somewhere in the middle of the pack to the bottom of the standings. So it didn't look like one team had a particularly tough schedule. It didn't look like any team had a particularly easy schedule the rest of the way through. The big thing for the Grizzlies, though, they just have 2 road games the rest of the way. As there's, 10 games? So let's see, this is game 60 for the Grizzlies. So 12 games left in the regular season. What do we have? 10 of them at Maverick Center. The only 2 road games are in Boise. And remember, that's a drivable trip for Grizzlies fans who want to see the team in Boise on April 7th and 8th. And so for Utah, you protect home ice, you win the majority of your games here at Maverick Center, you're going to be a playoff team.
Yeah, and you mentioned teams having a few good opponents, a few teams that they should beat down the stretch. For the Grizzlies, the teams that they should beat are the Wichita Thunder and the Tulsa Oilers. You got 3 against Tulsa at home, 3 against Wichita at home, and then you've got 3 against Cincinnati at home, and then 2 against Idaho in Idaho, and then 1 against them at home. So, you split that 6 tough opponent games, 6 games that you should win. I think the difference makers, if the Grizzlies can win those games against the opponents that they should beat, I see no reason why they won't find a way into the playoffs, especially if you find a way to mix in a win against Cincinnati here and a win against Idaho there. But for the Grizzlies, those Wichita games and those Tulsa games, those are must win to me.
Let's get to the 3 stars of the game. Number 3 star, Jakov Novak. Jakov, his first name. He's the number 3 star. He made his professional debut this afternoon, and he got a goal early in the 3rd period. Jakov Novak is the 3rd star of the game. We even got a pretty good look at him when Sossaman and James Shearer started to battle and fight deep in the Grizzlies zone as the camera guy just focused on Novak for a good 25 seconds. And we knew something was going on. We just weren't sure what. But we do know that Jakov Novak was intrigued, and he was interested in what was going on. He looks like a good hockey player, 6'3", 215 pounds, but he also moves around pretty well. So it looks like Novak's going to be a force for Allen here the rest of the regular season. He's the number 3 star. Number 2 star is Jack Combs, who had 3 assists and was a +2. And the number 1 star, he only played in 1 period, Colton Hargrove. 2 goals, 2 assists. He was a +3. He had 3 shots. He got a match penalty for an illegal check to the head with late in the 1st period, 19-21 in. What didn't he do? He might have sold popcorn in the 2nd and 3rd periods, for all we know. He did just about everything for the Americans. He's the number 1 star of the game.
Yeah, he had a good game for the portion that he played.
The first 19 minutes and 21 seconds where he had 2 goals and 2 assists. You got to give honorable mention honors to Liam Finley and Colton Sossaman, who he had eaten, and as well as Colby McCauley. 3 different Americans had 1 goal and 1 assist and weren't even a star. Kind of shows you how the night went for the Grizzlies. Cameron Wright, he was the Optum first goal of the game scorer, as he scored on the power play 12:08 in. And so if you had Cameron Wright as your pick for the Optum first goal of the game, congratulations, you're a winner. James Shearer and Tyler Penner each found the back of the net as well. But Cameron Wright, who had 1 goal and 1 assist, if you had to do a Grizzlies number 1 star, it's probably Cameron Wright for his effort.
Yeah, I agree. Cameron Wright had a really solid game despite the loss. But you mentioned Colton Hargrove. He for the game that he played, the antics aside and everything else that happened, he had 2 goals and 2 assists. He had a 4-point game and a +3 rating. And I think the Grizzlies on Friday night held him scoreless. And so I think he had a chip on his shoulder coming to this game. I think everybody on Allen really had this vendetta against the Grizzlies, and they came out. They were ready to play, and I think that was the difference maker.
Yeah, Allen beat Utah to the jump from early from Jump Street. That's unfortunate, but the Grizzlies, as you said, we're on to Cincinnati.
We're on to Cincinnati.
And I think it's going to be an interesting series. It could be a barometer. Like, if you can compete with Cincinnati, you can compete with anybody in this league. And if you want to see some good hockey at Maverick Center, get your tickets for the 3-game set. I imagine Cincinnati is a team that plays an aesthetically pleasing brand of hockey. So get your tickets to UtahGrizzlies.com or call 801-988-8000. You're going to want to come on down to Maverick Center. It's a Bud Light College night on Wednesday evening. That's the Grizzlies' next game. Pre-game coverage will begin at 6:50. Face-off at 7:10. And then Friday is going to be a 7:10 start. It's going to be military night and an AFCU Friday. Sunday is going to be a 3:10 start. And in between that, Thursday we'll have a Stars game at Maverick Center, a basketball game, and then Saturday is going to be WWE. It's a lot of fun stuff happening here at Maverick Center this week. Guy, before we head out, any final thoughts?
We're on to Cincinnati.
Thanks, Bill Belichick. Well, we hope you enjoyed the broadcast, but not necessarily the final outcome. We tried to do the best we could with what we were given on the Flow Sports remote feed. There were probably some details that went missing, and we tried to piece the game together for the YouTube audience, and we hope we did a decent job. If not, we'll have some live hockey at Maverick Center, live and in person over the next 2 weeks. 6-game homestand begins on Wednesday between the Grizzlies and the Cincinnati Cyclones. Once again, in 2 hours and 36 minutes and in front of 2,675 over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center, the Allen Americans defeat the Grizzlies 6-3 in the 12th and final meeting between the clubs. Utah went 4-8 against Allen this year. For Guy Chiarenza, I'm Tyson Whiting, and it is what it is.